hold on. How loud is my soundboard stuff when
Ooh,
I'm playing?
ooh,
Oh, we're live? We're
we're
live?
live.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
How
sorry, I
loud's
clicked over.
how loud is my soundboard
No,
stuff?
you're
I guess.
fine.
Okay. I was
You're
making
fine.
sure it wasn't blowing out your eardrums. I guess, scuffed, but welcome to, Subjectively Correct,
Welcome back. It's
episode
over.
number 30 something, 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 and,
36, baby.
yeah, and basically, here we are now, and Daredevil's done. We have Punisher
Yep.
next week. And then we could go back to talking about James
We're
Gunn or whatever we
we're
do.
free. Free.
We're free,
Oh,
buddy.
we can
Free.
still talk about
Free is a little crazy. We got Mando and Grogu coming
it.
out soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
no! I
Yeah, don't
forgot
worry, it
about
gets
that.
way worse.
I, like every other human being on Earth, forgot about the existence of
Holy
Mandalorian and
crap, there's this
Grogu.
article about Dave Filoni was silent, like, explaining why Darth Vader isn't in Maul Shadow Lord, which is just so funny to me. It's like, everyone is just expecting
'Cause he
Dave
is in
Filoni
Maul.
everyone's just expecting Dave Filoni to bring Maul, wait, Vader is in it? Oh, is it why
Yes,
he didn't
he's in the
speak?
finale.
Oh, he didn't speak. Oh my gosh. I
That's
was gonna
probably
make
why
a
he was
joke.
silent.
I was gonna make a joke like, "Oh, no way, they didn't actually bring him in. Everyone just thought he was going to, but they actually brought him in?"
Yes. I That's the only part of the show I've seen.
Holy
It's like a 10-minute duel with Darth Maul. It's so bad.
Okay, well, apparently Dave Filoni explained
But
why he was silent or
I
something.
feel like Dave Filoni might have been consulted for Born Again because it's literally like this is Netflix Marvel show Glup Shido at this point. Like at the end of this episode, we have Luke Cage, we have
Dude,
Ellison
okay, so because of all
in
the set
person.
leaks the set
We have
leaks
the bullets in office again.
because of all the set leaks,
It's
I
so
knew we were gonna get, like, Luke Cage, and I like, even though I know he's there, I'm not believing Danny Rand is showing up until I see it. But
no, there's
apparently but I was like I was still just
it's
mind
just
blown to see it. I was like, "What the heck? He's actually here?"
I don't understand
Like, they brought
what
him
is
back?
season 3 gonna be about?
It's about female
Like,
Muse,
Fisk
bruh.
is done.
Yeah,
Fisk
female
is
Muse.
done. It's
There's a bunch of
What
leaked
are they gonna
sets for
fight
this.
Heather, Glenn, and Buck as, like, married couple Muse?
I
Like,
think Buck's staying at home doing the dishes, bro. I think
dude, I
he's
don't know.
shot now, so he
He's
can't,
cold. Give him your jacket.
dude,
Also,
what a
his
dumb
shirt
scene.
changes color
Okay, okay.
episode.
Yeah, he got shot, dummy.
Yeah, but that doesn't make your shirt go from
Yeah,
white to black.
it makes it go from white to
But
red, idiot.
yeah, but his shirt's black.
Dude, it's
He
so
had a white
funny.
shirt and then he had a
Okay,
black shirt.
so obviously so you remember
Also,
what your
okay, never mind. I'll get to this later.
let's
This is
let's
nitpicky, but
I
it's
guess
still a bad
it is
continuity
over,
thing.
so I'm gonna bring this up now. Jake, you remember, of course, when you first when you finished Daredevil season 3, right? What was your first thought about Kingpin? What you couldn't wait you what assuming let's pretend for a second the show was coming back, right? You were like, "Oh, this is what I want to see next." What was it? You know?
Well, it wouldn't.
No, no, just say something. Like what would it have been?
I was excited for the next Daredevil villain.
No, no, but let's say it's Kingpin. No,
I
you're
thought
you're just stop avoiding the question. All right, this is you're making this difficult. I'm trying to transition into a joke here. You're ruining the punchline. What were
right
you most excited about with Kingpin coming back?
with Kingpin coming back. It was kind of like, okay, how is he gonna get
Right, right,
out
right. The homeless
prison,
thing. You wanted to see him
and how are
homeless,
they?
right? That was that was what you were like. Let's go. I can't wait for Kingpin to be homeless, or female mute.
Yeah,
These are
why's
real,
your
by the
hair
way.
out?
So they're filming on
And
because
she has a beanie on.
actually, someone
Okay,
didn't know the comics. Actually, Muse was a
yeah, the
woman in the
comic from
comics.
last year.
In the comics,
The comic from last year that they made so they could do this in the show and then say it's in the
um,
comics.
it's in the comics,
That's
buddy.
Dude, okay, no. That's how you know all the people that when Marvel does stupid shit like this or DC and then people are like, "Oh, well, it's in the comics, bro." You know those people don't actually read comics because they're referencing comics from the last years or a year ago and then they're like, "Well, it's in the comics, man. The comics have been around for a long time." It's like, yeah, well, that comic's been around for 7 months. You can't like, well, sorry, bro, female muse.
It was funny.
Riddle me this.
They
Riddle me
still
this,
got the
right?
question. They still got the
Cost
costume wrong. They still got it wrong.
Yeah, why she have a white t-shirt and a skirt? I'm assuming she's like that's not her actual costume and she's wearing stuff over the
Well, the
costume, but
coat is, yeah, but the white shirt
go
isn't.
ca- can you go back to the picture? Okay, so
Which one?
she puts on that one. So she puts on the mask um at the end of the episode, right? Does she cut a hole in the top of the mask so her hair can pop out and then put a beanie over her now poking out hair instead of just wearing the mask?
Someone
Also,
didn't
her
read the
hair's a different
comics.
color.
Someone didn't read the
She could dye
comics.
it, but her
Holy fake.
that's not what her hair looks like.
Holy fake fan. Someone didn't read the
Also,
comics.
okay, how is Heather Glenn gonna be a physical threat to Luke Cage, who's bulletproof, Jessica Jones, who also has super strength, Iron Fist, who is the immortal Iron Fist, and Daredevil, who Stick said
There's no
is
way
the
she could be in the
strongest,
show. There's
best,
no way.
best hand-to-hand fighter of all time. Best hand-to-hand fighter of all time. She's gonna be going against those 4 people, right? Once after she does a million murders because she's better than real Muse because she's Heather Glenn and she's awesome.
I wish we could see real Muse.
How
He hasn't even been on the show yet.
how's she gonna fight those people?
No, think about it.
She's
Think
just
about
a
it.
lady.
All right, let me paint you a
She's
picture.
like a 110
Hey,
pound
hold on.
woman
Let me
who's
paint you a
never
picture real quick.
fought
I
anyone
got
before.
I got
Just got killed by an incel twink who did a little taekwondo.
Okay, real quick. I got to counterpoint you. He wasn't a twink. That's the price. If he was a twink, it would have been more accurate. But hold on, let me paint you a picture, right? Let me paint you a
Well,
picture.
if the actual
Let me paint you a
guy
picture,
was in
right?
his suit, he wasn't because
Let
he
me
had a
paint you
thick
picture.
kingpin muscle suit on. But
Trust this, right? Ready? Hey, Jess, what
yeah.
are we gonna do? Because I'm bulletproof and I'm from Harlem. And then Jessica Jones is like, oh, I'm drunk. Oh, I'm so drunk. Oh, I'm drunk, and I
I
gave
drink.
birth and my powers don't work. What about you, blind guy?
Mhm.
And then he's like
I can't.
justice. I think justice. I can't see. And then he's like, what about you, Dan? He's like, I'm Danny Rand. Iron Fist, go. And then in the corner, it's just you see you got female Muse sitting there, and they're like, oh no! And then Karen shoots her in the face, and she's like, don't worry, we have been born again.
Don't worry, I, Karen Punisher, am here. They
Do you
Karen
think?
P
Do you,
stands
so
for Karen Punisher.
do you think John Bernthal like prays do you think he prays to God every night and thanks him for freeing him from being in Daredevil?
He has to. I'm pretty sure he only did the special presentation so he could get out of this.
I think it's because he was writing it. It's
Like
fine for him. He's on
they were like
Daredevil.
they they were like, "Hey, John, do you want to come back for or like, are you willing to come back for Daredevil Born Again season 2?" And he was like, no, I'm actually working on a thing right now. I'm working on a special presentation, whatever. I just can't do that. So
Let
you're
me tell
gonna
you
need
something.
to write
Let me
me
tell
out
you
of the
something.
show
Let me
for
tell you
no
something.
reason." And also, not even they didn't even
They forgot to
the
write him
show.
out of the show.
They forgot to write him out of the show. They literally just went, "No more Punisher," and that was all they did. He just stopped being in the show. They didn't even give us a Maggie line. She's on a sabbatical year
That
in
was so
Rome.
bad. That was so
They
bad.
just removed him. They
We got a
surgically
chatter. Hold
removed
on
him
here.
from the show.
Foggy died for no reason. I
Ooh.
honestly think many Netflix fans like myself checked out once he saw how bad they handled that. You know what? Yeah, dude, we'll talk. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about the viewership numbers. They did really good. They performed very
Yeah,
well.
we're
The thumbnail's
pretty
the
pumped
thumbnail's
about that, actually.
sneak peek at it. Yeah, I mean they had some momentum. Okay, well they would have had a lot of momentum if they didn't have Kingpin lose a fight to Kate Bishop to Echo. And then and Daredevil do a
Yeah,
walk of
that
shame after sleeping with She-Hulk and show up in Echo. If they didn't do all of that, they would have had a lot of momentum. And then they show up and then you're probably like me, you're like, okay, this kind of looks a little weird, but you know what? I got Foggy, Karen, and Matt. They're on screen right now. This is cool. Okay, whatever. You know what?
if we can
This
just
is
rely on these
Hey,
actors'
all I
chemistry
know is
together,
there was an
maybe we have a
overhaul.
chance.
There was a creative overhaul. The new team, they probably fixed some stuff. It's probably all old team's fault. You can go watch my old video. I was even sitting there like, bro, old team screwed this up. No, they didn't. Old team, I would have rather seen old team show.
Old team has the best stuff.
It
Old
still
team
would have
has the best
sucked
stuff.
balls. Don't get me wrong. Old team was also
Yes.
stupid as hell. But at least they were like, Matt, that one friend you had died. And then new team was like, Foggy is dead. Watch it, man. Watch it happen.
New team was like, watch one of your favorite characters ever bleed out and die in the first 5 minutes of this new show.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's diarrhea slop. Eat it.
Diarrhea. That's an insult to diarrhea. All
Yeah,
right.
diarrhea at least has a function.
So the episode, I tried to take notes this episode. We could be a little quicker. I just gave up. I couldn't do it.
There's like nothing to take note of.
Oh, there was plenty. I just couldn't do it.
Dumb
It's too
thing
ridiculous.
happens.
It's too ridiculous. So
Well,
no cold open
it's like
again,
you're
which is
taking
hilarious.
notes. Yeah, no cold open. Just get into the
Matt and
recap.
Karen,
They
Matt
show
and Karen,
Hector
they go to
Ayala
Matt.
getting shot again, so you remember that.
Yeah, Matt and Karen go to Matt and Karen date restaurant. Like it's like what was that? What is it Mozart?
But it's also like
location. Is that the meme? Mozart.
Yeah,
Death
why
House?
why would they go there?
Yeah, it's like they go to
Mozart Death
Matt,
House. Why would he go there?
They go to Matt and Karen date location, which is also in some other
okay,
like,
but
Hulu
it's also
show.
it's like flashing forward to the end of this episode, kind of, because they're wearing exactly the same clothes in
did.
exactly the same place. So it's like kind of flashing
I think
forward,
they did
but
flash
it looks
forward.
like it's flashing back or like daydreaming. Like
Well,
at the
here's
start,
deal.
I thought it was someone daydreaming.
And based off of based off those photo leaks, we knew Matt was going to be in prison in season 3. And I was like, okay, we're doing Zdarsky Devil on Cell Block D. I think that's Zdarsky, or maybe that's a different storyline. I don't remember. It was okay in the comics. We'll get to like why it doesn't work super well in this. Oh no, that was Ed Brubaker. Sorry, Ed Brubaker was Devil in Cell Block D. Zdarsky had a different Daredevil in prison. Daredevil in prison comic run that was exceedingly okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
but
they
it
go to
opens
date
on a
location.
flashback of them like walking down the street going they're flanderizing the restaurant from season 1 of Daredevil.
In fairness,
This is how
I guess this is
desperate they
just a
are.
real restaurant, by the way, like
Well, it's also not the same one. Like it's
I think it is.
visibly different.
Well, I think they're sitting in a different spot,
It
but I think
looks
it's the same
different.
restaurant. This
I don't know.
restaurant is
It looks
real. I
different
think
to
it's
me.
the same one they went
Maybe
to.
that it might look different to me because the way it's shot and the
It's been
color is
10
just so
years.
terrible. It doesn't look the same.
It's been 10 years.
And I guess it has been a while. Maybe they've remodeled, but
there's a whole pandemic in
it
there.
doesn't look as vibrant and awesome as it did in the original, I must
All
say.
right. Kirsten is by the way, Indian restaurant with all the flashy lights. This isn't your fault. He's just mad. You can feel free to sponsor us. Hit us up. I don't like Indian food, but yeah,
A restaurant?
I'll say it was good.
No, I like Indian food. That restaurant looks super cool. I'm not mad about the restaurant. I'm mad about the show being like
I don't know. Yeah, you
remember
just
the
said
cool-
it's not. You're just like
cool
it's not
dialogue
vi-
from
it's
that
vi-
restaurant?
It's not vibrant. I'm like, well, just in case,
saying no. The color and the way it's shot, it looks.
I mean, it
worse.
is day.
They're not doing the
I'm
restaurant.
not.
in
Look,
the
I'm
favor.
not sitting here being like they're filming incredibly. I'm just saying it's like it is daytime.
Well, listen.
There's also not all
I'm
that boring, crappy character stuff in there that made that moment good.
I guess I am kind of nitpicking. Like, look at that little piece of mold in this massive pile of cow shit. Like, look at that gross little piece of mold on this pile of manure. But
all right, Kirsten, she's like, Matt is busy. That's the scene. Matt is then getting patched up or shot up with morphine from Jessica Jones.
dude, I don't know.
And Matt's like, oh, I don't have superpowers. And she's like, you also have never given birth before. And that's the scene. All right. Then Buck walks in and he's like, I killed Daniel. And Kingpin's like, who's Daniel? Kingpin was like,
What?
Who?
Did you guys take care of BB?
Okay, can I just say it's so funny? Like, I obviously knew Daniel's dead because of how memed Daniel is, but like, first off, A, there is like no fallout from Daniel actually being dead in this show, in this episode. But B, it's also like like if it wasn't a meme of how stupid Daniel was, I would not. I would probably have forgotten who did. Like, oh yeah, they killed
Yeah.
Daniel Blake last episode.
If I
Anyway,
wasn't actively excited that Daniel was dead, I wouldn't I just wouldn't remember that he's dead.
anyway, Kingpin, he said they're like Matthew Murdock survived, and then he gives Buck a piece of paper, and Buck's like, "Are you sure, Mister Mayor?" And then Kingpin's like, yes, which is so much funnier once it's basically revealed. I think that this is like, hey, just go shoot the hell out of Matt. And Buck's like, I don't know about shooting someone, man.
I don't know about killing people, Mr. Fisk. That's I don't know. That can
Again,
be
and I feel
bad.
like now we've reached a point of like, okay, look, you gave a lazy excuse that wasn't good as to why Kingpin wasn't revealing Matt's identity. Why hasn't he done it now? You know, type of thing. Um, So anyway,
Are you
Heather, she's on
sure you
screen.
wanna do
Heather,
this,
by the
Mr.
way, has
Murdoch?
not changed clothes since Vanessa's funeral.
Yeah.
I think I
I
think it
don't
was
know if
black.
that's on
It's
purpose,
like olive green now,
but
you know? So
she's wearing like a brownish olive green version of literally exactly the same outfit that she wore to Vanessa's funeral that she's been wearing for
anyway,
a couple days.
Hawkberg,
I
he's
don't
just
know.
asking questions that are extremely like Kirsten should be objecting immediately, and that's highlighted by the fact that Mac walks in and objects, which is like means he's just walking to the courtroom like, yo, Kirsten, you suck at your job. Um
Well, she couldn't
anyway,
object because Matt had to walk in and do it, and it was super cool.
Anyway, Hogberg grabs
Stupid.
Heather's book. This is the famous book Heather was writing in season 1, where she came to the brilliant conclusion that masks either hide your identity or allow someone to act as they really are. This is next level stuff here. No one has ever thought
This
of
is,
this
like,
before.
genius. No one's
Yeah,
even
and yet at the
considered
same
this
time,
as a
she still doesn't
possibility.
know what a vigilante is.
Yeah, no, they still don't
She,
know.
it's usually a joke of like, oh, I could write a book on the subject. She literally wrote a book on the subject and doesn't know what it
She
is.
actually wrote a book and doesn't know. It's so it's really bad.
Anyway, the vigilante's mask does not hide his public face. Like she literally is like a mask acts as a mask, and it therefore is a mask. And she's like
That's like
staring Matt down the whole time, even though she doesn't know Matt's Daredevil. She's like the only person who's ever been close to Matt who doesn't know, because these days Matt just tells everybody, I guess. Including Brett Mahoney, who's like they're not like friends, like
no, they're like
they're like yeah, they're like
reluctant
workplace.
allies,
Well,
kind
it's like
of.
Foggy like kind of became friends with him, but he was like, Foggy knew him from school and like they didn't really get along type of thing, but like they kind of did, but like they just didn't, they knew each other, and Foggy would buy Brett's mom cigars. And then he was like they're in
Yeah.
on the police force. And then like Daredevil and Brett were like closer to friends. But I guess he just told Brett, he's like, yo, by the way, I'm Matt Murdock at some
He's
point.
like, "Yo,
Um
yo, it's me, Matt Murdock."
anyway, Kirsten opens up with a opening statement, which you can't do. Like I get TV. I get this with TV shows. I give you a lot of leeway of like, okay, this isn't how a courtroom goes. You can't. You have to ask questions. You have to. It takes time. But I'll give you leeway. I don't need you to wait. It's like it's been 3 years and my client is now finally on trial. Like, now I get that. You got to throw me some legal jargon, like in Daredevil season 1, where Healy's like, "We'll do this, that, and the
Mhm.
other thing," and then blah blah blah. Like I said, like you said, not my first rodeo. Like it's complete bogus and like just not real. But at least there's something there.
Yeah.
The only time it was
The
like
only
really bad
legal
in
words they say
Daredevil,
are like, "Objection."
the only time it was really bad in Netflix Daredevil was in season 2 when Matt's like, "Can I treat the witness as hostile?" And the judge is like, "Yes." And then Matt just starts like giving a speech, which is just not like what a hostile witness is. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's anyway. So I'm gonna point it out a lot more because the whole point of this episode is it's sanctioned around a courtroom. So there's kind of a lot to the courtroom. So I'm gonna point out things in the courtroom. Anyway, she's like, "Hey, did you strike Miss Page during your evaluation last night?" Hochberg says objection, which I don't really know what this would be objecting to. Um And so
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure
just
why
like
it's sustained
it was a
because
question.
that is a relevant question because Karen's on trial. This woman just gave quote unquote evidence as to what makes like she's a sociopath. So as a cross examination, you go up there to discredit them, B, try to get them to explain why what they said fits your case better than theirs. So striking someone is very much like a good thing to bring up in a cross examination. This would not be sustained in a sustained objection. And Kirsten then goes, no further questions. You don't want to question the psychiatrist more? The lady who
And
knows about
she's
masks?
just Kirsten in court is just constantly incredibly smug after losing. Like, she
Anyway,
loses and she's like,
also, she
"Yeah,
says no further
I got
questions.
it."
She says no further questions, and then Matt's like, "No, I actually have questions," which I don't think that's how I think once you say no further questions, it's like you're done. You can't the witness is now off the
Yeah,
off
that's the point of saying no for the questions.
Yes. Matt then says, Dr. Glenn, does a vigilante need a mask? And then she says, how do you mean specifically? And it's like, legally, no. A vigilante is someone who acts outside of extra jurisdictional actions. Now, that doesn't matter. It would only matter under legal circumstances.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this is a trial, so it does matter. That is
Ooh.
the legal term
Ooh.
of what a vigilante is. So, I don't
No,
know
that
why
doesn't
Kirsten's
matter.
under
It's
trial.
her
I
definition
don't
matters in court.
I don't understand why Kirsten under trial, or not Kirsten, Karen. Sorry, so many female characters, and they all blend together at this point. They, I don't understand why Karen is on trial for being a vigilante because there was like a bunch of crimes she did commit that they could probably lock her up for, like inciting a riot.
Yeah,
Like she did that.
actual crime.
Yeah,
And
like she.
it's also the entire trial this episode, they don't even like, they don't talk about Karen.
Okay. Anyway,
Karen's effectively not on trial.
so
It's like they had to have a court scene showdown between Daredevil and Fisk.
yeah, we'll get there.
And yeah, it's just not about Karen at all.
So as Matt's talking to Karen, they or not Heather. There's so many of them. I just did what Matt did that turned Heather into female muse. I called her Karen. um. Anyway, he asked Heather, like, so in your professional opinion, would my client qualify as a vigilante if she never cultivated an alter ego, or as you call it, a mask? What?
Yes. She's acting extrajudicially.
Okay, first off, she's
And
not. She didn't
also,
act extrajudicially, but like that's not even. But like that's not even. But that's what she's on trial for. She's on
yeah.
trial for vigilantism, which would be extrajudicial. Safe for Streets Initiative. What? Yeah, Streets Initiative allowed them to crack down on vigilantes, not superheroes with a mask specifically. No, it's vigilantes. They know that because they're like Jessica Jones, a vigilante. She doesn't have an alter ego. She's Jessica Jones. Her alter ego is drunk Jessica Jones. That's the only alter ego Jessica Jones has. In this
Yeah.
and other things, she has an alter ego. But and then
Yes,
Heather
yes.
said she didn't need a mask, which is true. But then she said she hid behind Daredevils, which is like you just don't need to add that.
I
So
don't understand. So Heather's book, which stupid, but the premise that it is going for is that like vigilantes and people wear masks for these reasons. That doesn't mean every vigilante wears a mask or whatever. It doesn't mean every vigilante wears a mask. It just means it's going into why they do when they do and why vigilantes do what they do, why they wear masks, etc. It doesn't mean if somebody doesn't put a mask on that they aren't a vigilante
let me stop you
or
right here. You've
that
put
if
way
they
more
put a
thought
mask
into
on,
this
they
book
are a
than any
vigilante.
writer of this show ever has.
I know, but like they could have genuinely done something interesting and compelling with an actual intelligent psychiatrist character who is actually discussing like the psychology of vigilantes, but they didn't do that. This
Anyway,
is what happens when dumb people write smart people.
the task force is helping Bullseye set up a sniper, except this is just clearly not Bullseye. Um, so
It's
then they're
not
recessed.
bullseye.
So
What?
then Matt is like, talking with the judges and like Hochberg's there, and they call Mayor Wilson Fisk. And Fisk walks in, and then all of the task force walk in, and then
Yeah, like
Jake,
50 task force guys walk in.
Jake, you know what happens when Fisk walks in?
Goes white a little
He
bit.
starts monologuing.
He starts monologuing. He just sits there and he just starts yapping. And he literally says the meme line. He goes, "When I was a boy."
Dude, I was cackling during the rest of this episode. Every 2 minutes, I was dying laughing.
He said the meme line.
It's
"When I
just
was a boy."
really bad.
Like it's
And Fisk was apparently also just like standing directly outside of the room, waiting to get called in with 50 task force guys, so he could slow mo walk through the courtroom and look badass.
well,
He was
there's
just
also
waiting for his cue.
like a witness, I guess, could technically do this. It's just so funny to me. Like I don't understand what is the goal
He
here.
would be sitting in the courtroom, or they would bring him in. He
No
wouldn't
man stands as
solo
tall as this courthouse.
walk in.
I don't know.
Which just yeah, he monologues about how the systems in the courthouse stands above everything else, and his when I was a boy, his father taught him, basically it's the prison thing. You find the biggest guy, you take him out, then you're the biggest guy. Earn respect. He's saying that crap, and then he's saying basically the court, legal system, government, all that is the big guy. So he wants to be that, basically.
So
and,
are we
like,
actually
take
gonna
that
like
over.
this did just
So
happen
he's in
yesterday.
court basically. He's in court basically just saying, yeah, I wanted to take over the government and law so I could have more power. In court.
Um, this happened yesterday. A group of anti-vigilante task force guys rolled up on the cops and the defense lawyers and tried to gun them down. And they were like at the scene of the crime still, by the way. Like, and they were wearing their like with their anti-vigilante task force suits. Like, no one has brought this up.
No, Caleb, they cut away from that.
Anyway, hey, Bullseye.
They
he
don't have
kills
to deal with
people.
the consequences because they cut the camera to something else, so that they don't have to worry about it.
Bullseye kills somebody. Whoa. It's real Bullseye, though.
Bullseye kills a couple somebodies. What?
Fake Bullseye also just has no reaction time, by the way.
Dude, no. He watches the other two guys get killed and like looks at it and then just continues looking out the window. He just stands there.
Yeah.
Like Bullseye is actively killing his fellow task force guys
Here's my
directly
question,
behind him,
right?
and he's like, "That's crazy."
So,
But this
I know the
window is real
meme.
important.
I know it's a meme that we make fun of like, oh, it went blue. If it's supposed to go blue when Bullseye does the Bullseye thing, why doesn't it go blue after he kills all these people? Like for all these
Why
people
did
who are
it
like,
stop going blue?
like for all the people who are like, oh, blue is cinema fire horse, we're so back. Like, why isn't it blue here?
Why did they do it twice?
Also, all
and
these
then
people,
stop
by the
doing it?
way, Matt is now responsible for their deaths because remember, he's the reason Bullseye is even free because he literally let him go.
Yeah.
This isn't like, oh, he didn't
Dude,
kill him.
we
He
are-
feels responsible for his death. No, he freed him so that he could go kill these people.
We also get the line later where the governor is like, "Yeah, that guy Bullseye murdered in my house is actually alive and
Well, yeah,
well,
we'll
and
get
he
there,
can
we'll get there.
testify."
Matt talks about they go to the safer street stuff, and then they mention Muse, and I'm like, Muse is just not a vigilante. Like, it's not even debatable. He was a serial killer. It's like that's
No,
like
it's
saying
like
Jack the Ripper is a
was-
vigilante. Like Ted Bundy, famous vigilante. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is this
Yeah.
bit that they've been running? Like, they convinced themselves that somehow like people are like, oh yeah, serial killer's a vigilante because he wears a mask. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's so stupid. I don't know. Like, and I agree with Hochberg's like objection relevance. I don't I don't know. He literally just is just saying whatever, and
Also,
they say it. They're like, "The kitchen sink approach sucks balls, Matt," and he's like, "Bah."
and Fisk also mentions Vanessa, and he just seems like entirely indifferent to her being dead. Like
Okay, so this is all building
entirely.
up. The whole point of this scene is Matt's like essentially trying to get him to say there was another witness on the Northern Star, or there was a witness
Yeah,
on board. Um, so then they go to the judge's chambers, and so first off, there is a moment here I actually like because someone finally did this, and I honestly it's something I've wanted that to be done in a lot. I think didn't Electra might have done this as well in season 2 of like someone who's aware of Matt's powers, like whispering quietly at towards Matt, knowing he can hear, even
yeah.
though they're another. I like that. I like having
It's
Kingpin
like
do that.
Stick did it
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stick did it. That's right. Yeah, it's like
with the
I
with the
like something like
ninjas.
this. Yes,
He's like,
like
give him hell.
the better version of that Karen Brett scene that makes no sense from last episode is Karen is just speaking out loud to herself, but she knows Matt
Yeah,
can hear. Um,
exactly. It's Brett saying, say what you have to say, and then leaving her in the cell because he obviously couldn't get her out of the cell.
Yeah, just ignoring the fact that he shouldn't be there. Anyway, Matt's like, hey, we have this massive piece of evidence that the entire trial now relies on that somehow the prosecution didn't see during discovery.
Why wouldn't they introduce it before? There's literally no reason.
And it's not that they didn't introduce it before. This is now literally unusable. This cannot be used in court because the prosecution did not see it. This trial, this Matt A is probably disbarred, like for even referencing that this video
Matt has
could
been
exist.
disbarred 100 times at this point.
Just for even referencing this video
The
could exist,
bar
he
has
might be disbarred.
personally killed Matt Murdock at this point.
Yeah, it's like you can't. I know that there's always the me. Now I think there's probably exceptions if something is discovered after the fact, but this was available to the defense lawyers during what would have been a discovery process. Therefore, they are literally like by law required to reveal that to the prosecution. That is how court that's how trial works.
Of
That's how it's
course.
done. Again, I'm willing to be mad lenient with a lot of stuff, not stuff this bad.
Yeah, this is like you're on trial for murder and the defense is like, "Man, we got away with it. They didn't find the murder weapon, nothing." And then the prosecution walks in, they're like, "Yeah, so we found this like bloody knife with your fingerprints all over it in court.
But
Evidence
it's not
has to
even
be
no, no, no.
turned in
No, 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 but
and gone
that's not
through."
even that would almost be acceptable. It's more of like a
Well,
we
it'd
got
be
away
like,
with it.
"We
We're
found this
hold on,
video."
let me we got the jury said you're good. Jury's about to get their verdict, and then right before it happens, prosecution rolls up and they're like, "Hey, by the way, 4 years ago, we have this video of you saying I murdered the crap out of this guy, and here's why, and we just are bringing this now because we feel like it." And then they're like, "We need to talk about this in our chambers," and then they go in, they're like, we'll allow it. And then, and then the defense has no like
Dude,
they can't. It's like
and honestly, what's the why it's like it's not a jury trial, but a lot of the time they treat it like it's a jury trial because Kirsten is constantly playing the like,
well, it's because the
there
camera.
actually is a jury in the court of public opinion because the cameras. But then they go to the judges' chambers and discuss, and the entire trial is in that room.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't even
everyone
think
involved
about
in the
that. I
trial
didn't even think about it.
is
The
in that
judges are
room.
the one rendering a verdict, and they're like, "You need to tell
Yeah,
us if this could bias the court against your decision
yeah.
away from everyone else." I
Like
didn't even think about that. That makes no
you
sense.
are the court. It makes no sense. At that point, why are you like, "Oh,
Um,
let's go retire to basically continue the trial just in my office." It's stupid.
Yeah, immediately Fisk could start pleading the Fifth Amendment, and he would. First off, he wouldn't be on trial, but
Eh,
he should
"No,
immediately.
I will answer the
Yes,
questions."
yes, like he immediately would plead the Fifth Amendment, which doesn't mean he's guilty, by
He
the
could
way.
plead the 5th, or he could just go,
Which he would be
"Nah, I
guilty,
didn't
but it
do
is like,
that."
but he didn't. I mean, he could just lie. Yeah, that is true. But it's like you obviously would just
Yeah,
plead the
he
Fifth
could just
because then
go,
in
"No,
every
I
yeah,
didn't
like
do
the
it."
entire rest of any Fisk isn't gonna say another damn word in any other scenario. He's not gonna say anything.
Dude, he also when the like you said, give them credit when Fisk is talking so that Matt will hear him. That is good. But then Matt verbally answers Fisk across the courthouse when he's talking to the judges. It's like, I could say the same about you out loud. Matt is not stupid. He's had these powers since he was, what, 9 or 10?
Wait,
And
yeah.
he's 30 something, right? And he's not making this mistake. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like, oh, they're almost having a conversation, but that's not what's happening. He's just listening. And he's in a constant state of listening to everything all around him. He doesn't have to activate this to hear Kingpin say this one thing. He hears it because he's already listening to everything that's happening and all of it while also sustaining this conversation. That's
Matt is
the intelligence level and power level that Daredevil has, and they don't understand it in the slightest.
Matt breaks into a rant. You can't do this in court. Like he goes, okay, Fisk answers that question anyway. Fisk is a criminal. We're gonna charge him. Hochberg objects, obviously sustained, except no, overruled for some reason. Matt then goes, now applause, now a cheer, and then then they all cheer. Yeah, I don't know what and Karen starts like crying of happiness, I guess. Okay, wait, did I skip past that he reveals his identity, or is that later? Hold on. Yeah, sorry, I skipped past it. So yeah, Matt builds up to like, okay, basically the whole thing is saying was, oh, Daredevil is the real witness. So I thought they were gonna do the Charles Soule thing from the comics. I don't dislike the comics. So basically, most of Charles Soule's comic run is building up to like Matt would join the district attorney's office. His whole goal was to try to get it enshrined in the Supreme Court law that like superheroes could be witnesses as their superhero selves. So like Daredevil can
They
be a
could
witness.
testify.
Exactly, using his powers. So Daredevil can use his powers basically as like a bug for anything to be a witness. Given the fact they usually like the limiting factor, it was like they couldn't be the ones to bring him in. Daredevil couldn't arrest someone and go, I heard him say this thing, or like beat someone up and then go, I heard him say this thing. So like, and that was the whole goal. And like they go to the Supreme Court, there's some good stuff there. This is then later used after Daredevil accidentally kills a guy in Zdarsky's run. He stands trial, but they use the same legal argumentation as like if he can stand trial as Daredevil, or if he can be a witness as Daredevil, he should be able to stand trial as Daredevil. And then he goes to prison as Daredevil, and it's kind of stupid. They give him an orange mask to go with his orange prison jumpsuit, but it's fine. I don't dislike all of that comics, like those storylines in Zdarsky's run. It's not great, but it's okay. But anyway, I thought they were going to do
cool,
that.
and it's an interesting world.
I thought they were going to do that, except it wasn't going to work in the show because what? Matt's going to go like, I called Daredevil to the scene. I called Daredevil as my
I
next
need
witness.
to go.
And then yeah, he'll just leave, and then Kirsten will question Daredevil.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I had Indian food yesterday, and I'm feeling a little sick.
So much better than Matt then turning to the crowd and going, "I am Daredevil." And here's the problem: he is now not a witness. He is just the counsel of Karen Page, just yapping. Everything he says here is inadmissible. Yeah. He's not a witness. He is not.
He's not
providing evidence to the case. This is so easily solved with a line of just going, "We now call Daredevil to the stand." And Hawkberg's like, "Yeah, you're blind, bro." He then throws his baton and it does a cool thing, and then Agent Powell.
It's also destruction of property because it like dents the walls.
Okay, bro.
Just nitpick, but like it is destruction of property.
You did not just, bro.
So shut up, bitch.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like. Shut up. And then Pal, who like has known the whole time if he wasn't an idiot, is like a blind lawyer who can fight. It's like
blind lawyer who can fight. It's like, yeah, because he's Daredevil, stupid. He beat the shit out of you last season. Obviously.
It's been a year since the blind lawyer kicked your ass. And you're like, oh, he's Daredevil.
Oh, that's why the blind lawyer beat the shit out of me and two other guys. It's all coming together.
Also, like, if you want me to expect all of this other stuff where, like, all of these constitutional rights are suspended, why isn't Matt just immediately arrested instead of being allowed to continue his just ramble? But yeah, anyway, he's like, I testify.
In vigilante court now. Why don't the 50 AVTF guys
he's
murder
like,
him?
I testify that I saw this, and it's like, yeah, you're not testifying. You're not testifying. And Heather starts crying.
Yeah,
'cause
he is.
Heather's
He
an
said the
idiot.
word testify. That's how
And
it works.
Heather starts crying because Heather sucks. Kirsten is like, I can't believe it because Kirsten sucks. Karen starts crying because Karen sucks. And, and then they're like, yeah, this is dismissed with prejudice. And then Matt, don't leave the courtroom. And everyone gives him a standing ovation. And then Fisk is like, I can't believe it. And then the governor, who showed up in the middle of the trial, is like, hey, by the way, you're under arrest. First off, how did Jessica Jones, why is she on the personal detail of the governor? Did she show up and she's like, hey, I'm a drunk private investigator. I'm here to personally escort you to go watch Kingpin in court.
Well, because remember, Bullseye saved her, so the governor's on their side now, even though Bullseye's not on their side.
And the governor isn't either, because the governor was like, all this putting people in the zoo, the voters like it.
Now
so
that
we're gonna
Vanessa's
stick with
dead,
it. We're sticking with
the
it.
voters love the People Zoo.
Anyway,
But I'll stick with it. But not now that Vanessa's dead. That's where I draw the line.
Kingpin starts talking to Jessica Jones like he knows her. And she calls him Kingpin.
It's like,
Oh.
hey, Jess.
He walks out and he's got Cole North and Heather and Buck escorting him. I don't know why Heather's there.
I don't know why.
Meanwhile, Matt,
It's the Family Guy. It's the Family Guy. Who is he meme? And the what does he even do?
But that's the Fisk Alliance. Matt is escorted by the Daredevil Alliance, which consists of Karen Page, Jessica Jones, and the governor. And then Fisk starts
she's just part of the team.
Kirsten
now.
McDuffie, sorry. And then Fisk just starts yapping, and Matt's like, "Oh, go to prison, bro." And then he just calls him Daredevil, and then Bullseye is just aiming at the window, and it's like, I guess he's gonna shoot Kingpin. And then Powell just goes, "Murdoch's coming to prepare the shot." It's like, brother, he was prepared. You don't need to tell him to prepare the shot.
He also just learned that this guy
I was
is
gonna
Daredevil.
say that, but he does. They don't know. You don't really know Daredevil's powers.
They probably don't know his powers, but he's blind.
They might. I'm just saying they don't know he can literally. Now he doesn't sound like he's whispering.
Also,
I think that's the actor. But let's assume he is whispering.
He also just like yelled. It's like,
yes, but
Daredevil's coming. Prepare the shot.
But yeah, and then
let's say he was whispering, and it was actually louder because we're hearing it. How Daredevil hears it, we can say that. But
and then so here's what's funny. So Matt then hears Bullseye say, "Sorry, pal, wrong Bullseye," and I don't know if this is coming through the radio. I assume it is. They don't put a radio filter on it, and I'm trying to figure out if Matt is listening to Bullseye in the other building or if he's listening to him answer on the radio, which those usually come out pretty loud. So I feel like it'd be like, nah, bro, I'm just gonna shoot the hell out of him.
I don't know, because Powell reacts and says, "Sir, it's a trap." So it's
so no, it is Bullseye. So I'm assuming he did.
It is on the radio, I think.
Yes,
I don't know why.
I also
Bullseye
am just now realizing
that.
Bullseye's just listening.
It's like he's trying to.
They have always open radio comms. Like he doesn't have to hold a button down. It's just always on. I'm realizing now.
Yeah.
So then Bullseye.
Also, why would this is like if I'm trying to assassinate somebody and I take out one of their guards and take their radio so I can listen to them. Right before I try to murder them, I don't go, huh, I'm here to kill you, big guy. Watch out.
Bullseye shoots at nobody and hits Buck after Matt says you don't want to do that. Buck is now bleeding out. Everyone scrambles. Get the mayor out of here. Don't let Murdoch leave the building. Bullseye just leaves. I don't know what the hell Bullseye's trying to accomplish. Al runs outside and just starts blasting out the window.
Seconds after Bullseye takes a shot at Fisk, Powell sprints out the front door and starts firing with iron sights across the street at a building that's like 10 stories up.
Yeah, but he knows where the gun's placed.
And he doesn't die. He knows where the gun is placed. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he knows both the gun and the gunmen that are in that building. He knows Bullseye has a sniper rifle, which should be the most terrifying sentence you can possibly hear. Bullseye has a sniper rifle from a high vantage point. Everyone within a mile's dead.
All right.
And he just sprints outside and starts firing.
So Team
But
Kingpin, they go
Bullseye
into
leads, so
the Team
it's
Kingpin,
fine.
they go into the chambers. Team Murdoch, they go to the judges, or they go to the judges' chambers, and Team Kingpin, they go to like the main courtroom. We then get expository news lady who just explains the scenes we've just seen. They watch that on TV as Matt is joined again. Team Murdoch is Kirsten McDuffie. The villain of the show is BB. Daniel died because of her, and the show didn't give us any remorse. The show was so boring. I agree the show is boring. I don't agree BB's the villain because I think she's just worthless. Daniel died because of her, and he almost died about 5 times over. Bullseye Sniper wasn't maxed out. Welcome back, Spitty Surfer. Yeah, he didn't charge his ult all the way enough, Jay. You gotta think.
Yeah, I guess he fired once, so his cooldown was still
Don't know. He can't. So anyway,
you know
Team Matt,
how long it takes to do a action. You just
Team Matt is Kirsten McDuffie, Jessica Jones, Karen Page, and the governor. That's Team Matt.
The governor of New
The
York.
governor has no security detail, despite surviving an assassination attempt, which I guess he didn't bring up. The guy who tried to kill her lived. Even
The
though Bullseye
attorney
threw a
general
knife
also
to his
isn't
head.
there with her for some reason.
Bullseye
The
threw a
attorney
knife
general
to his
who's
head.
like giving Fisk the deal and stuff.
We're not insane, right?
Yeah,
Bullseye threw a knife into the guy's brain.
I seem to recall Bullseye threw a knife at the guy's brain and killed him. The witness that will be back later. I guess not. We
If
can
Bullseye
double
is
check
shooting a building,
later.
you remember, Jake? You remember when Punisher was out and you know and they were like the DA's got to stay inside because he's gonna try to kill the DA, but then the DA foolishly sat in a room with a window, and the consequence was Punisher, not actually Punisher, but blows out the window, killing her, blowing through a hole through the wall. So their first instinct when Bullseye, who is far deadlier than Punisher with a gun, was shooting at the building, they were like, let's go sit in front of the window.
And this is both groups, by the way.
Yeah, they're both in
groups are
window
sitting in a room full of windows. They're both, dude. The courtroom is like literally entire wall of only windows, and then the office that Team Murdoch is in has like 3 big windows. They should be in the ultra mega basement tunnel. Like they should be
I have
underground.
a question.
Or they should leave.
In season 2, I'm trying to think if this. I think it has to be. It's the most heroic thing anyone's done is Powell willingly sprinting out of the building, knowing it's Bullseye, just to try to lay suppressing fire to keep Bullseye from just gunning down mass innocents outside. Is that not the most heroic thing in Daredevil Born Again season 2? Matt sinks a ship, or Matt breaks onto a boat to prove Kingpin's a criminal. That's not really heroic. That's kind of just like he needs to do that. What else has
He
Matt
also lets
done?
everyone on the ship die.
What else? Yeah, exactly. They've raided that warehouse to prove Kingpin
and murdered
had
a bunch of
guns.
people in the warehouse.
I don't know. There was that. I wouldn't that wasn't he didn't save anyone doing that. That wasn't really heroic. He kept Bullseye.
Yeah,
from...
no, Powell might be the hero of the story.
This might be the most heroic act in this whole season 2 of the show. Might be Powell sprinting out of the building, willingly knowing he will probably die to Bullseye to try to get suppressing fire down. So
because
that isn't
the Kingpin is already secured and safe away from the entryway that Bullseye's shooting at. So he's just saving
regardless if it was
civilians.
intention or not, he is literally saving. He is, by all of his justification, he is saving everyone outside. You have made Officer Hitler heroic. Congratulations, you idiotic writer.
You made the guy who was literally seconds away from, hey, let's gun down all these civilians, the hero.
Stupid writers made Officer Hitler the good guy. Nice job, dummies. So basically, Fisk then sits in the chair of the judge and starts doing this.
Yeah, he's just
he's
just broadcasting to everybody,
and he's doing this with his hands.
Yeah, that's not even an exaggeration. He's literally just
this is they were like, oh, he does
following
he does
today's miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, and he's like, the city's under emergency, something, they're coming for us. Matt's listening to all this and just states aloud, the city's turning on him. And then she's like, I'm bringing in the National Guard. He's like, no. and then BB returns.
No, that's what Fisk wants, a
then
war. And then
BB
they immediately
opens-
have that anyway.
BB opens TikTok live and is like, New York, I am born again. And just starts yapping.
Remember when Daniel Blake said it was underground and nobody was watching it like 30 seconds ago?
Anyway,
A couple
everyone is
episodes
like
ago,
dripped
4
out,
days
and they
before
all
this
have
happened.
really good cosplay Daredevil masks. Jessica Jones gives Daredevil his suit.
Yeah, they just like had these on hand. All
And-
the Daredevil
And
masks.
Team Daredevil, Team Daredevil. This isn't Team Matt Murdock. This is Team Daredevil, as in the protest. This is the city without fear. We were promised. Marches on.
Yeah, that
the
we were promised
courthouse,
8 episodes ago.
being led by Brett Mahoney, Detective Kim, and Sherry.
The Avengers.
Shut up! When I said two random cops,
Cherry, Detective
when I
Kim,
said-
and
when I said
will
at the
return in
end-
Avengers
when I
Doomsday.
said at the end of my Daredevil season 1 video, oh, City Without Fear, and it's Josie the bartender, Cherry, and two random cops. I was joking, but here we are. Cherry and two random cops are leading the City Without Fear. Jessica just pulled his suit out of her inventory. How the ABTF not searched the bag? I don't know. So the crowd then like
Wait.
approaches the task force who are barricaded around the thing. But this whole scene reminded me of it's a riff on a real commercial, but the A-Train Turbo Boost commercial from The Boys season 3, I think, maybe 2, I don't remember. That's what this is
I think-
shot like that. It's shot like that Pepsi commercial. It's so, and Sheila is like, I can't believe they're gonna kill people. It's like, you still got someone killed, you evil bitch. And then Fisk is like,
And
then
you're
Fisk goes-
part of the administration with all the Hitler murder
and
cops.
then Fisk goes, hey, go kill all those people. And all the task force cops are now like, I don't think we should kill those people, Mr. Fisk. And it's like,
I don't
I'm
know
just
if we
saying-
should
I'm just like,
murder them.
dude, okay, so you want me to tell me this many people are like, maybe we shouldn't just kill random people, yet they have been getting executed throughout the entire season. And it's just like, and they're just like, no, it was good then, but now that we want it to be bad, it's bad. I love how the suit just makes bad bullet wounds magically go away. Yes, he's no longer limps after this.
I was gonna talk about that in a minute. He flies through the hallways, knocking people out. He's literally soaring through the hallway. in a minute.
Heather, she's sitting
But
here.
right here-
So
wanna
Heather's
say,
sitting there helping Buck with his wound.
Where are all of the ABTF coming from? It started as the worst of cops, and in season 1, when it first started, there was like 10 or 15 guys. Would you say there was like a dozen?
in their defense?
Now there's literally every ABTF appearance, we see 20 of them die or get like femurs shattered, destroyed, and there's just more.
in their
and
defense,
more,
they did say
and
half
more.
of the police
Who's
force is willing
signing
to.
up for this?
They did
job?
say half of the police force is willing to throw themselves off the Brooklyn Bridge for Fisk in season 1.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
a
I don't-
billion years.
Anyway,
ago.
Heather is helping
Uh,
Buck with his wound, and I was like half expecting we were gonna get like the Punisher season 2 scene between the therapist and Billy of just like she just starts making out with his gunshot wound just because of the last scene I saw these two in. And yeah, everyone's like, holy, I can't believe Fisk is like gonna go kill people, and it's like, yeah, he's done that before.
What? No, it's not like he publicly gunned a bunch of people down on
So
a
the task
bridge.
force, they're
That
on their
didn't
way, and
happen.
Matt's like, hey guys, time to go. And then Jessica Jones is like, I'm gonna do the drink because I'm Jessica Jones and I do the drink. And I was like 99% certain Karen Page was about to walk out this door with them to go fight everyone. She basically does, which
Yeah.
we'll get to that. But she didn't at least do it here, and I was like, okay, good. Anyway, Team
Yeah, she
Daredevil.
closes and locks the door, and then
Team
all of
Daredevil
the people
equipped
that are
their-
closed and locked into this room appear in 2 minutes.
Team Daredevil equips their cosplay masks and all their red, and they all pull their phones up and start rolling up, and they storm. And Cherry is like, "Hey, get out of the way, everybody!" And Cherry, this is where the A-Train commercial feels like it rolls up. Cherry walks up to them and is like, "Guys, We don't have to be violent. Try some cherry turbo boost. And then Powell speaks for the people and goes, shoot that guy.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
I was
okay,
like, if
first
he
up-
takes another step, blow his head off.
and then Powell doesn't just shoot him. I don't know why. And then Cole North, who is a good guy in the comics, has been an evil piece of shit through these episodes. It's like, well, I don't know that we should kill Cherry.
I don't know.
And then hits.
Look at how old and sad he is.
And then hits him in the face and is like, come kill the mayor, everybody.
Dude, they're like, all right, ABF, we're out of here.
He's like, hey, everybody, come on, let's go kill the mayor. And then but then Sherry leading him and going, guys, let's put the guns down. I'm like, what are you doing? You're Cherry. Get out of here, bro. What are you doing?
He's an old man who almost died a week ago.
Cherry is leading the crowd. This is like a fever dream of a joke we would have wrote after memeing about how powerful Cherry is. Like Cherry is.
He would get
leading
trampled
the
to death
crowd.
in this crowd. He's an elderly man who just suffered a heart attack, leading an angry riot. He would get trampled to death. That's what. Remember the Travis Scott concert where people got like trampled and died? This is way worse than that. They're in an active riot where they're trying to kill people, and he's a million-year-old man.
This is not a protest. This is a lynch mob. This mob is sprinting to the courthouse to go kill Kingpin, and you can't say they're not, because the second they get it, everyone's like, down with
try
Fisk.
to kill
And
Kingpin.
someone literally says kill Fisk when they're being led into the building. Oh, I can't believe. And then Sheila's like, I took the call for you. I'm betraying you. Okay, first off, no, Kingpin hangs up on the Attorney General. Sorry.
The Attorney General basically calls and says,
from
Fisk, if you stop now,
you
can just be chilling and go to prison.
That's what I meant. Anyway, Fisk. So Powell is the greatest. Powell has went from stupid officer, terrible bad guy to my favorite character. And he says, and his horrible delivery actually works here. And he says, I gotta get this word for it. Jerry, are you supposed to be upstate playing bingo or some shit? I was like, I actually laughed at that line. I was like, that's good.
That was
his
the
horrible
funniest
delivery.
line of the whole show.
And the way he says it is so quick, and his horrible monotone delivery was so funny. Jerry, are you supposed to be upstate playing bingo or some shit? Cherry can't die.
This
since
guy's
he
like
was born again. Spitty surfer in the chat. Cherry, are you supposed to be upstate playing bingo or some shit? I might get that tattooed. You don't have to belong here.
That's going on my that's going right across my forehead.
And then Brett says, or maybe you forgot, we serve the people, not the other way around.
Remember when Brett was a character?
So Cherry steps forward, and Cole North, who's about to be redeemed as he wasn't actually Officer Hitler, he was officer getting orders from Hitler. The second Cherry steps forward, he points his gun at him, ready to just shoot his face off. Like, this wasn't even like ordered. He was like, oh yeah, let's kill Cherry. And then Heather tries to go get the jacket from from Hawkberg, and he's like, no, it's expensive. And then he gives it to her, and
she's like, but Buck is cold and he's dying and stuff. I need your jacket.
Hawkberg's like, let's go get freaky. And then she beats him up in some weird, haha, look at the sad loser.
Dude, he doesn't even do that. He's not even creepy. He's literally like, Heather, we are both normal human beings. Okay, he is kind of creepy, but he's like, Heather, we're both normal people, and they're about to go murder a bunch of people. We can just go.
We do. So we do.
Like, we could just leave and
do
be
the
normal.
thing where they cut back and forth between scenes. That sucks. But they cut back, and Cherry's like, guys, we don't have to resort to violence. And then Cole's like, back up, and Powell just goes, shoot him. And then Cole North is like, what? And then Angela Ayala rolls up and just like, tell him you killed Hector Ayala. Tell him about Hector Ayala. And then Powell goes, Hector Ayala was an effing cop killer. And then Cole North, who's has learned no new evidence, by the way. The only thing that then Soledad says, "No, my husband wouldn't kill police." So the only new
Yeah,
evidence Cole
the
North has
guy's
learned.
wife goes, "No, my husband
So
wouldn't
Cole
kill
North,
people."
who shot Hector Ayala, has learned that Hector's niece knows that he shot Hector Ayala. So nothing has changed about his opinion there. And that Hector Ayala's wife doesn't think he killed somebody. And now he's like, he probably didn't kill anybody. And like,
Hold on.
he arguably manslaughter. I'm like, I don't know that it's actually manslaughter. They were beating up a guy, but like,
He did throw him in front of a train.
he didn't throw him. He tripped, but like,
Yes, but like, even he didn't murder them, but technically he was responsible for their death.
that was arguable. It's up to his defense lawyers to argue that in court. Then they just didn't, and then the jury was like, "Nah, he's good. He's chill." And then
Yeah,
he's
they're
like,
"Nah, he's
same
fine."
guy who raided blind lawyer's apartment. By the way, exactly. He was literally rolling up to blind guy's apartment to go execute a blind man. That's a great point, Spitty. Yeah, and then but now Cole North
No,
because
they were there to save Matt Murdock.
and now
They were
Cole
there
North
to murder him.
Cole North is now just there, and he's like, just like, you told me Ayala pushed men off the platform. First off, he didn't tell you that. That was the court. The court said he pushed a guy, not men. Hector wasn't just like sitting there with a line of cops just shoving him onto the tracks. Yeah. So then he goes, shoot Cherry, and then that's when Cole hits him in the head and goes, "Let's go kill the mayor." And then they all run in to go kill the mayor. Heather then she sticks it to the weird creepy guy.
After he does it. Sorry. After Cole North knocks Officer Hitler out, it shows Angela Ayala and Cherry's reactions, and Angela is like on the verge of tears because that's the only thing she's like, that's the only face she knows how to make. And then Cherry looks like he's in the middle of a dementia fit. It looks like he just doesn't understand what's happening. He's just kind of blankly like, it's just old man doesn't know where he is face. I don't know if he was even supposed to be on the set. It looks like he doesn't know where he is. Looks like he wandered into this riot and he's like, "Man, there's a lot of kids here dressed in red. What's going on? Must be a spirit day for their high school or something." Anywho, next scene. Oh gosh, Cherry leads Team Daredevil.
So they all break in and they're like chanting, "Let's go kill everybody. Let's go kill Mayor Kingpin." Kill Fisk literally gets said. And they like storm the courthouse.
And
then
I guess like the rest of the AVTF isn't loyal to Fisk or Powell.
Well, first we have more cannon
'Cause
fodder.
they-
So they go to kill Matt, and then Matt and Jessica Jones fight them, and thankfully Jessica Jones doesn't get her anti-power sprint because all the named officers have already gotten their stories ended. And
Yeah, it just never happens again.
this time Sheila answers the
happened
call
for
from
Powell.
the AG, and she's like, "Hey, I know I killed a guy, but I'm the hero now." And then she tells him to go to exile. What?
Yeah, she
That's
just
not a
walks up to
thing.
Fisk and she's like, "It's over. You have to go away."
And then Fisk goes, "Open the door!
She says,
Open the door!" And then he walks up to the door, opens it, and goes, "Boo!" And then kills the first guy he sees. And like, this is supposed to be like, he's evil, he's murdering all these innocent people. They're there to kill him. They're running down the hallways going, "Kill Fisk!
Kill, murder
Kill Fisk!" All of these murders are justified that Fisk does.
Yeah, and also going back to what you said about the whole go to exile thing, Sheila tells him, "Renounce your citizenship, go into exile." That's not like a thing. You can't like, this isn't Game of Thrones where it's like, all right, you're either dying or you're going to the wall. You're going to be part of the Night's Watch. You can't go into exile and renounce your citizenship.
I request a trial by
You're
7.
going to prison. I request a trial by 7. I will fight with Sir
Trial
Buck.
by trial by combat. Trial by combat. And
Officer Buck.
Matt's like, trial by 7.
Trial by 7.
and then Cherry's like, What the F is a trial by 7? Sorry. Oh man, we're talking about good shows. My bad. Sorry.
And then Danny Rand pulls up and goes, "I will take Daredevil's side."
I will take some MODOK's side. And then the Iron Fist theme plays. I was gonna hum it, but I don't know
Danny
the Iron
Rand.
Fist theme. I don't know the Iron Fist theme.
I am Danny Rand.
Iron Fist. Iron Fist. Iron
Wait.
Fist. um,
And then Fisk literally just starts dismantling people. He's
It's
like
kinda
crushing
funny.
their heads.
a little
Every-
absurd, but kind of funny. I don't really care at this point about.
Every punch or backhand he lands literally sends
Jessica
someone
is
flying like 15
smacking
feet.
people with a fire extinguisher. They're probably dead. All
They're
these
all
people,
dead.
despite watching
Matt
Fisk
does not care.
execute everybody, they don't run away. They are like cowering in fear now. So much of the city without fear.
Yeah.
Um,
As Matt and Jessica Jones are fighting these guys, she throws one of them out of a window. There's a bunch of gunshots in the hallway, and Daredevil's like using
And look,
ADTF
they're about to
guys
lose,
as meat
but
shields.
thankfully, Angela Del Toro saves the day. She comes rolling up. And I guess we
from somewhere,
finally get
she's-
to see. So the magical amulet gives you the power to jump and pounce one. You get one Black Ops 7 wall bounce.
Yeah. You get
And
one
she
wall
also
bounce
is able
and
to
then one
easily remove
stealth
a gun,
takedown.
and she murders a guy with it. They might try to say
She
he's
kills
not
a guy,
dead. She like
100%.
bashes his head in with a butt
She
of a gun.
Johnny Walker like crushes his skull in.
Fisk shushes a woman and then smacks her. Based. Sorry. Yeah, Fisk is just killing people in the hallway.
Yeah, he walks past the hallway and there's just like 20 dead
I also
people
find it
laying
funny
there.
because there's one guy that's just got like a beanie with like some red like tips put out to make ears, and then there's another guy who's like a fully 1-to-1 accurate scale mask of Daredevil.
He had more time to prep. He was part of the city without fear
hold
at
on.
the end of last
Sorry, I
season.
know we're a long ways away from it, but when Matt revealed his secret identity, you know what he started doing, Jake?
He starts monologuing.
I forgot to play that again. I meant to play that again, but
Yeah, he did.
I was too blown through it. Anyway, she's helping Angela Del Toro. Matt does some yelling.
And then,
people do some
then
screaming.
Karen knocks out an AVT.
And then Karen comes out of nowhere.
110-pound Karen Page stealth takedowns and then like elbows and knocks
And then
out
grabs his
a
gun.
armored
Bah!
AVTF guy. Yeah, and then
Also, what's this guy doing? Why is he
Yeah,
just standing there? Why is he in stealth mode? There's gunfire. The alarm's going off. He shouldn't be in stealth mode.
he's also the only one there. And it also looks like Karen's by herself. And then the second she knocks that guy down, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, White Tiger, and then 50,000 freaking Team Daredevil people walk in. So it's like, why would Daredevil let her do that? She could have gotten her head blown off.
Is worse.
The
than
AVTF armor is worse than
That is,
Stormtrooper armor.
I would
too.
agree with you, but it's not true because a woman smacked a stormtrooper and it knocked him unconscious. That has yet to happen. We haven't had a guy in a helmet get
hasn't.
smacked. He didn't get smacked. He got pushed and he went unconscious. That happened. This shot of Matt Murdock stand with Jessica Jones next to him and Karen Page and Cherry behind him and Brett as he walks in and he raises his fist into the air. This shot has set Daredevil back to.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
this is the worst Daredevil shot ever. I haven't even seen the Ben Affleck movie. This has to be the worst Daredevil shot I've ever seen.
This has to be worse than that entire movie. And then Fisk just throws 3 people down the stairs. And Daredevil doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
to
Daredevil
help
just
him.
stands
He
here.
just-
And he's sitting there with
He just standing there.
Wait.
Menacingly.
Wait.
And dude, and then Kingpin walks down. He wipes his face. And then the whole Daredevil crowd is like, jeering at him.
Fisk,
and he says,
Fisk
"You're."
walks onto the balcony. You know what he does?
He starts monologuing.
He starts monologuing.
Talking about how the world
He
will
tells
soon be
him,
his.
he- he's like, you're wrong. You're all wrong about me. I've done everything for you. I've given you my heart and my soul. And they're all
See,
like,
we don't have to
liar!
argue- we
You're
don't
a
have to-
liar! We're
we
gonna
don't have to
kill
analyze
you.
this all sucks. Then they rush him and they're like, let's go kill Fist. Matt
Daredevil's
stands
Billy
here and
Club
lets him
needed
just
to
kill
recharge.
people.
Yeah,
Matt
Daredevil
just lets him
also
kill
has a
people.
projectile weapon and a grapple that he could just go
And then he
up.
grapples into the middle of the crowd instead of front of him. Daredevil's Billy Club needed to recharge. Yeah. Jessica Jones and him both just go to the middle of the crowd. First off, Jessica Jones can fly.
Also, she can?
Like, I don't know
Or are
that
you saying
they
she
ever
does
established it like that, but she at least said she can jump really high. But like in the comics, she can
She
fly.
kinda
I don't know
jumps
that they
higher.
ever did. I don't know if they ever did flight, but like it's flying in the comics. I don't know that they did that in the show. But she said, "Well, it's like jump over buildings high." Like she could jump right up on that balcony and punch Fisk in the face and knock him unconscious. Like
Well, she
she does
jumps
not
like
need to
10
jump
feet
into the
here,
middle
so.
of the crowd.
They also, I wanted to say,
And then
the shots of all the Team Daredevil people like running up to the stairs, they keep cutting back and forth to people reacting to them running up. And it's like they're at the stairs and partially up the stairs, and then it cuts and they're halfway to the stairs,
yeah,
and
and
then
they
it
think
cuts and they're at the base of the stairs, and then it cuts and they haven't even moved yet, and then it cuts and they're all the way up the stairs, and it just keeps
this
going back and forth. The continuity is like just it's so jarring.
they clearly think this is so artsy, having all the people in red storming the one guy in white. And then Matt goes, "No, stop it!" And then they all somehow clear off, and Matt's like, "We're better than this, guys."
Yeah,
I feel Charlie
Kingpin
Cox
also
is
throws
acting.
two
Charlie
more
Cox is
people off the
acting,
balcony, killing
acting
them.
his heart out here, and they're just like, "Here, pretend this dog shit is a gourmet meal," and he's like eating it, and it's like, and then he gives like a perfect performance of how great it tastes, the dog shit tastes. Um, and then Matt, who now knows Kingpin's killed a lot of people before this, has been a super criminal, is like, go to the beach. And then he
that's literally it.
and then Matt goes,
He's like,
but Grace.
yeah, he's like, Kingpin, what about Grace? And Kingpin's like, no, I'm evil. That's basically his line. He's like, no, dumbass, I'm the evil bad guy. I'm not. No.
Like he doesn't get
Are
great.
you
This is
stupid?
forgiveness, not great. Like these idiots had no idea how Catholicism, like any of the morality behind what a Catholic, even a basic Christian would think. It's like it would be a forgiveness thing. Send him to the raft, bro. Yes, lock his ass up. Like why are we acting like, dude, go to Tahiti? Like what are we doing here?
They sent no suit Ant-Man to the raft, and they aren't sending Kingpin.
Send Ball Run to the raft.
Ant-Man without, he's just like he's like Fiddle Faddle level guy without his Ant-Man
He's a pretty
suit.
good criminal. He was way better at stealing than Fiddle Faddle guy.
Yes, but like in terms like number of crimes he violates Sokovia Accords, he violates his house arrest and stuff, but pre that he's like pretty much on the same criminal level as Fiddle Faddle.
so Fisk is just
Maybe
like,
a little past.
Fisk is like, Charlotte, Daredevil, I just need more.
Yo, one of his lines,
one more
totally
big score,
breaks,
and I can go to Tahiti.
He totally breaks and just sounds like Vincent D'Onofrio because it was an emotional line, and then he goes back to sounding kind of like Kingpin.
I don't. Whatever. This is awful. This?
It's like he's like, Matt,
bro,
I am super evil. And
I don't think it's
totally
as
missed
bad.
my wife.
I don't think it's
I'm
as
the
bad.
bad guy.
I don't think it's as bad because you got Charlie Cox acting across from him, but this is almost as bad as the Echo scene. It's almost that bad.
In terms of like what's happening, it's nearly that bad.
It's not though. You gotta watch the Echo scene because if once you watch that Echo scene, you're like, this is the worst thing ever made. This is I think it is truly worse than Ironheart. I don't think there's a single scene in Ironheart worse than that one scene in Echo.
she takes away Kingpin's trauma with her
he
powers that
has
she just doesn't
holographic
have.
hands doing sign language next to his face. And then he's like, I think you'll understand if I don't shake your hand.
But anyway, I hope the Attorney General's offer still stands after I just
Daredevil,
killed those 50.
Me and your relationship has now been born again, season 2.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, and then it goes blue.
I saw
Oh!
I saw Twitter lobotomites, like 2 of them, because no one's watching the show at this point, be like, this is better than the season 3 ending, which, it's 2
You
twists,
don't
so
get to
obviously that's not
destroy
true.
who I am. I beat you.
The thing is, that was like such a it was really good, and it was definitive.
So Fogwell
I
Jim
beat you.
got
It's over. This sorry. This scene, it's like, I guess he beat Kingpin. I don't even know. It's so ambiguous. And I know
so
I
funny.
know he's coming back in he's coming back in season 3. I
As
don't
a
even know
homeless
what the
guy.
ending is. It's like,
As a homeless guy.
did he beat? Like, did he
So,
beat Kingpin,
it's so
or
funny.
is Kingpin gonna get out again? I
Okay.
don't know.
Let me fly through this last like 6 minutes here, and then I'll give my final little recap. So Fogwell's Gym got a new window, and I guess they got a new one that looks old. Was what the style they were going for. Josie's still looked awful. They're back at, so now we're back to the opening scene that was flash forward to, and Karen and Matt, they're doing some yapping, and then the sirens roll up. It's like, I thought we'd have more time. Then Matt gets arrested. And then he sent Kingpin on a vacation, literally. And then Jessica
Yes.
Jones. So then Jessica Jones is back in Alias Investigations. She has a house. Why is she in Alias Investigation? Why did she go to her shitty apartment? She's got a like 4-story. She got like a giant,
nice house.
a ginormous
Those
2-story
guys-
house. Okay,
Those
first
guys
of all,
broke her window.
let's talk about this. She was like a struggling private eye, and Luke Cage worked as a janitor in a barber shop. How did they afford that house?
And he like the entire time he worked there, they were like, Luke Cage, can you actually do your job, please? Can you come to work sometimes?
And he was working with Blade, and he didn't even know he was fighting Blade. He was literally fighting a vampire. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Luke Cage comes back. I can believe Luke Cage is coming back. Even though I know he's been on set and I know he's going to be in it, I cannot believe Finn Jones is going to be back. It's not like, there's no way they were like, the people need Iron
You know what
Fist
people
back.
love?
The people need
know what
Colleen
people love?
Wing back in the show.
They killed Foggy,
Hold on.
but
Let
they
me
have to
finish
bring
this, and
back
we'll do this.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Ellison pulls up and he somehow still has the 25-year, like 40-year-old Converse box that Ben Urich had and gave to Karen when he died. Like, that Karen had. I guess thank goodness Karen didn't throw away the Converse box. Like, and she
And
also
Karen just doesn't work at the Bulletin anymore. This entire show.
this
That's
whole
like-
office as
like-
well, like, is like, it just hasn't changed since Karen left. It's been 10
Nope.
years. Since
It's
she
a
worked at the
memorial to Ben
Bulletin.
Urich, bro. This is also
didn't
it's
the
funny.
Bulletin was like shut down
This-
basically after Bullseye murdered people. And Matthew
This
Lillard,
also
remember,
is
hold
the
on,
closest to recreating
just
a
let me
set
finish
from the-
this. Please just let me finish the episodes. I never have to look at Daredevil Born Again season 1 or 2 again. So, Luke Cage is like Matthew Lillard. Remember, he was in this show. He found someone else, and it's like, oh look, it's Bullseye. He's working with him. I severely hope they give him a real costume, and then they give Wilson Bethel the John Bernthal Punisher treatment, and he never shows up in anything there. I don't want to see Bullseye in Daredevil anymore. Way to go, you idiotic writers.
Never
Matt
again.
then goes to prison. Heather puts on the Muse masks. Matt walks by all the cops who are now in jail. Pal, I guess, is just buddy friends with them again. And Kingpin is on clearly the volume Tahiti. And Matt, he's in prison. And you're supposed to be like, oh, that's not fair. Kingpin went to Tahiti and Matt went to prison. To which I will say, yes, it makes no sense that Kingpin is in Tahiti. And then the credits roll,
Dude,
and that's the end. So the season is done.
So I'll do this in order. I have two quick things. The Bulletin office, as far as recreating sets from the original show, is probably the closest in appearance to actually recreating a set well. And it shows up for 10 seconds. And then I thought the Kingpin on the beach, I thought that was gonna be like he's trying to remember his time with Vanessa on the beach that it showed us earlier.
It is clearly,
And then it was gonna what I'm saying.
I'm just saying aloud.
I thought it was going to cut to him sitting in his cell staring at his wall that kind of looks like Rabbit in a snowstorm, but he's thinking about being on the but he's just on the beach. Why is he on the beach? Where is he?
I got a crazy idea.
I don't
So we have a pretty good actor for
Did
Bullseye.
Daredevil win?
We have a pretty good actor for
I don't know.
Bullseye. So what if
We have a really good actor for
Daredevil
Bullseye.
fought Bullseye?
No. Because they kind of did that in the old Daredevil, though. So we
Yeah.
don't want to do that again. We just want to do all the other stuff again.
I just find it so funny that this would be too
visually appealing.
Well, it's funny you say that because I still don't
Yeah.
think it would be because they just recreate the season 1 ending, but it would look bad. Like that would be how the season 1 of Daredevil.
That would still be too visually appealing. It doesn't mean it would be visually
they'd find a
appealing.
way
It means
to
it would
ruin
be
it. They'd
too
find a way to make it not. They'd like CGI it or something. I find it so funny that this whole show, like, regardless of us complaining about the story and characters and that stuff, like the main normie complaint is like, it's just so boring. There's so many side characters in it with Daredevil. And then their solution for that was like in the finale, instead of the side characters taking it down, it would be extras. So we had all the side characters with Daredevil, and in order to take down Kingpin, a bunch of random extras who were on set for one day with no character, because the city doesn't have character. Don't let them convince you the city has character. Don't let Twitter convince you the city had a character. The city never had a character. The only character the city has was Karen going, the city's buying this. The city's not buying this. That was the only character that the city was
That was
ever
their
given.
development.
It's not like Gotham getting a character, right? Gotham, the Joker playing Gotham against Batman, right? That's a good thing. This is so they did that. That was their solution. And that's what happens. Great job, new team.
Oh yeah, sorry. My nitpick I was gonna say a while back when they were showing the. Can you stop clapping? When they were showing when they. Well, I mean, one person applauding is not enough. We need at least 100,000 people applauding for a day straight to really give to new team. This is a nitpick, but it's true and it's applicable to the quality of this dog shit show. They reused when they were doing the shots, like showing the news of the trial, and then they were cutting to people in the city doing like, oh look, the city's turning against Fisk. They reused like 3 of the same extras in multiple different shots, and they're like central to the shots.
Dario Scartapane, you
So it's
dropped
really
this,
like,
my
oh
goat.
look,
Pick it up. You dropped this.
look,
Dario
this guy's
Scartapane.
this guy's standing in the street, watching it in the street. The same, look, the same guy is sitting in a bar drinking a beer, watching this 5 seconds later. Oh, look, the same guy is walking down the street, watching that. It's like,
You dropped this,
what are we
Dario
doing?
Scartapane. You are so
Like, did he
talented.
not recognize the guy?
What else is Dario Scartapane?
He would have to direct him. You have to go, hey, look like this while you're watching the thing.
What else has he done?
don't know how you make something this
He was a
poor
showrunner of
and reuse
Punisher.
the same extras.
I kind of knew he was a showrunner on Punisher. How much did he showrun?
He made a decent season then.
An okay
Because they are
season.
all the city without fear. That's true. That's true. They are all the city without fear. The entire city is one person.
I'm so sad we
And
didn't
that
get
person
Fiddle
is
Faddle
the
Guy.
city
I
without
was told Fiddle Faddle Guy was
Dude.
wrongly accused of a crime, and he is part of the city without fear, and we need to free him.
Maybe that'll happen in season 3. Maybe.
I am Danny Rand, and I am Born Again season 3. I can't. So by the
Maybe
way, there
ooh,
was a
here
there was a there was a script leak for season 3, episode 1. Foggy. I know everyone's like, "Oh, Foggy's actually didn't know." The secret is he's actually alive, and then he's gonna show up, and he's like, Matt's gonna be like, "Foggy, I can't believe you're here." As Foggy shows up to him, and when he's in prison, and Foggy's like, "No, don't worry, Matt. I have been Daredevil Born Again season 3."
Dun, 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 dun.
Why'd you just do
Dude,
the
honestly,
F1
at this
theme?
point
You just did the F1 theme. You just did the F1 song.
I was just humming a
Dun,
grandiose
dun, dun, dun,
theme, and it happened to be the
dun.
F1. Hey, it's a fire theme song.
That's funny. I'm so glad that's over. We do have Punisher next week, though.
Dude, I don't. What is season 3 gonna be about? I mean, they have female Muse. If they do what they did with Muse in season 1, that'll take 2 episodes.
I think they should just do
Kingpin is
Heather what they do to Heather in the comics.
have her kill herself.
Whoa, that's a little harsh, bro.
That's what happened in the hey, it's in the comics, bro. It's in the comics, bro. Use their bullshit against them when they've never touched a comic book before. It's in the comics, bro. Female Muse is peak, bro. You've never picked up a comic book before. Also, just because something's in a comic book doesn't mean it's good. Not every comic book ever printed and sold is peak fiction. They're not. There's a lot of dog shit comics out there. Go read Ironheart and then come back and tell me every comic book ever written is good. Just because something is in the comics or it's in a book or it's in some source material doesn't mean it's good and should be adapted. If you do that and you go by that logic, then you should go, this really cool thing is in comics. Why don't we do that? That's what you should be doing. Yeah, pull up the numbers.
Not
I
on
mean,
Nielsen.
you know, we said a lot of bad stuff about it, but I'm
This is the only
sure
week it
I'm
would
sure
have
a lot
appeared
of
in
people
Nielsen.
watched it though.
This is the only week it would have appeared in Nielsen, because this was the 2-episode week. Didn't appear. And that is because no one watched the show.
Yeah. And of all the 2 no ones that watched the show, half of them stopped watching the show.
Daredevil Born Again season 2 ratings collapsed by 50%. Season 2 viewership drops nearly in half, according to newly reported streaming data from Luminate. Daredevil Born Again season 2 has taken a massive ratings hit across every major metric. 4.5 million season views, 10.8 million hours watched, 652 million minutes watched. Compared to season 1, 8.3 million, 24 and 1.44 billion. Now, I know those sound like big numbers. That's just because of how that data is calculated. It's not that big. Agatha all along got 10.4 million season views or something like
Also,
that.
if you look at the number of views, it's 4.5 million views and then 10.8 hours viewed. That means on average, people are watching like 2.25 episodes and then stopping because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
If everyone was watching every episode of the show and 10 million people viewed it, then across 8 episodes, say there's, 7 hours total, then there would be, 10 million, there would be 70 million hours watched if everyone watched all of the show. That didn't happen. They watched 2.5 episodes maximum because it's shit. And with how they released it, they probably watched the 2-episode premiere and went, "Whoa, that sucks. I'm not waiting a week to
Well,
watch
that
more
was
of this."
last
And
year.
then they
That was
stopped
last
watching.
year. They didn't do a 2-episode premiere this year.
Oh no, they did the 1 episode and then they did the 2 episodes. So
They
they watched the
feared
first
they
episode,
feared
waited a
Matt
week.
was only there for 5 minutes an episode. Matt wasn't even there, and now if Matt comes back, he's not even. They don't have Matt
That
Murdock,
didn't exist.
and now they don't have Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
There is no longer a blur between the character Ditto and Matt Murdock. That's part of the reason I don't like the Mark Waid comics. I don't like. I think a superhero balancing his real life with his alter ego is an interesting idea, and movies don't do that anymore. I kind of hate that. Superman. That's one thing that
It's
Superman was
super
missing.
interesting.
Superman didn't have that. Spider-Man didn't have that once they revealed Tom Holland's secret identity. Like, it really didn't
Yeah,
even have
it's
that in
interesting to
Homecoming. Like, there was
see,
a little bit there in Homecoming, but they didn't do it well enough in
but
Homecoming.
there weren't a lot of struggles. He got in trouble at school, but then it was basically like, "Yeah, Peter, you're a good kid. Get out of here."
But it created for the interesting moment
Um,
with Vulture. Like, wouldn't get that if you didn't have a
it
secret
did.
identity.
They still did do interesting stuff with it. It just wasn't as central as, all of the original Daredevil and stuff like that.
Why does Disney hate secret
Why
identities?
does Disney hate
Because they
secret
can't
identity?
take their
I don't
mask
know.
off during their fights to have the actor's face. That's why.
Exactly. That dude, when Daredevil took his mask off, it's like, bro, he's wearing a bulletproof helmet. Why would he take it off? Why would he do that? What I was gonna say, having characters with powers who are super strong and can take on these colossal problems and enemies, having to go against something that they can't just like physically beat, that they have to think their way through and talk their way through and actually like work through relationships and all that stuff. That's interesting because it's not, oh, how's he going to beat this thing up? That stuff's cool too. I like that stuff. But having to take on and fight things that they can't just use their powers on is interesting. That builds them as a character. Having Superman only fight stuff is a waste. You have to have Superman go against things he can't just punch his way through and use all of his powers against. You have to have Daredevil go against things where he can't just fight them. You have to actually have character conflict. That's when things are interesting. And having them only use their powers and only take things on with their abilities and as their superhero self limits the interesting things you're allowed to do.
What does this even mean? What does this even mean?
No. False, wrong,
No, he
lies.
probably was. He was probably like, yes, I don't have to be in that dog shit movie.
That's a good point.
What is that?
I mean, if they talked to him, Vigo was probably like, yeah, it's cool. I don't care. Thrilled is insane. He's probably like, yeah, cool.
I find it so
whatever.
funny. No, I love Thrilled because it's like they think that's a flex, but Vigo is like, yes, I don't have to be a nut for Gollum. Yes, they're recasting. That's how it's framed now because you put Thrilled.
I'm free. I'm free.
Oh gosh, I just thought that was really funny. I'm scrolling through these articles, make sure you didn't miss anything, anything big.
The Odyssey trailer dropped.
Like I said, see if we missed
Um,
anything big. Animal Farm is a total betrayal that might be the worst movie ever
Yeah.
made. Is certainly a title.
Well, yeah, from what I've heard, it's
I think it's a
just not
communist
Animal Farm.
take on Animal Farm.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like, no, it just hasn't been tried correctly yet. It's like, okay, yeah, that's every person who's like, let's try communism is like,
By
well,
the way,
the
did you
billion
see-
people that have tried it so far just did it wrong.
Did you see why the Lantern trailer got removed?
No.
They got copyright claimed. They didn't get the music license for the song they used. They didn't have the license for it, and they got copyright struck, which is so funny because WB is the worst company when it comes to copy striking anything you put in a video. Karma, what goes around comes around. Screw you, suck it. Yeah.
Dude,
They
that's
didn't
so
get the
funny.
music right.
That's
You
so...
idiot. What a dumb company. The Home Depot music.
the Home Depot music.
We are the lanterns. Oh, dude, yeah. I just remembered that.
Oh,
That was we talked about. I think it was it last week we talked about Anthony Mackie's $20,000 box office.
yes.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, dude.
that- oh
Oh,
gosh. Yeah. I guess you can get a sneak peek of Mandalorian and Grogu in Fortnite. I got an ad like this is how you can see it, and I
this
instantly, I
is
think I sent it
how.
to you. I instantly thought of Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
And like you got to give this away for free, bro. No one going out of their way to find this in
yeah.
Fortnite, bro.
No, just throw it on YouTube, bro.
Bro, you
No
remember
one is going.
they
No one.
did like
Well, that's their
lore fixing.
target
Hold on.
audience
You
is
remember between
5-year-olds
the
who go
Last
glup
Jedi?
shitto.
Hold on. Between the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker, you remember how they used Fortnite to fix the lore? There was like a plot
Yeah.
hole, and they used Fortnite to cover. They revealed story concepts in Fortnite.
Yeah. Star
Clone
Wars
Wars,
is back,
Anakin,
bro.
and
Mando and
Ahsoka
Grogu is
coming to
gonna
Fortnite
break
item shop.
records. Which version of Ahsoka? There's like 30.
Gina Carano says no animosity with
Well,
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau fueling Cara Dune's Star Wars return rumors. I would have animosity on the
I
fact
hope.
that they suck.
Yeah, and they might not have been the ones that fired her, but they were like, oh,
Hey,
that's
Gina,
crazy. Anyway,
go
let's
have
keep
the
making our
worst
shit.
fight that's I'm ever going to have watched on Netflix. All right, that I see people going like, this
Yeah.
fight's gonna be amazing, and I'm like, you have never watched
Hey.
an MMA fight before in your life. If you think the Gina Carano Ronda Rousey fight is gonna be peak fire cinema, that fight is gonna suck.
Go watch a prime Ronda Rousey fight, and it's like,
It's
eh.
she can't strike. And Gina can't wrestle.
Go watch her shadow box. She does the weird like,
That fight is
thing,
going to suck.
which is like, hey,
I'll watch
it's gonna be
Nate
terrible.
Diaz.
They're both old.
I will watch Nate
I'll give them
Diaz and Mike Perry.
I love
and
how
I will watch
nobody gives a f about this movie. Yes, dude.
Mandalorian
But
and
the thing
Grogu.
is,
I think it might get like 20 viewers.
dude, when it drops to Disney Plus, one person will watch it.
I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to see it in theaters or if I'm going to hop on a boat.
I might hop on a boat. Well, we'll see how much money I spend at the theater with other stuff, but
Obviously, with the boat, referring to getting on a boat and sailing out to Australia for the earliest possible showing.
Yes, that boat. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so these two fighting both in their prime would be like a moderately entertaining fight. They're both
fights mostly suck.
mid. It's two middle-aged women. I'll give them this. They both look like they're in great shape. They look like they've gotten in solid shape, but they're not in their prime anymore. They're probably both going to gas out pretty quickly. It's not going to be entertaining. Ronda Rousey's not a good striker. She's a decent grappler. And dude, she hasn't fought in how long?
I don't know.
She was fighting in early UFC.
So Gina
She
Carano was
hasn't
even
fought
before
in
her, wasn't she?
so long. I don't even know if Gina fought in the UFC.
I think Ronda fought in Reebok.
She may have.
Fought in the Reebok gear, and I think Gina Carano was fighting in like advertiser gear.
Hold on. Let me look up Gina Carano's MMA. Yeah, so Gina Carano is 44 years old. And Ronda Rousey is 39. They both look like they're in solid shape.
Pereira's 38.
Yeah.
Not
the
Jake,
same.
I want you to go back to 12-year-old you real quick. I want you to put yourself in the mind of 12-year-old you, all right? Make sure you're not current Jake. Only be in the mind of 12-year-old Jake when I tell you this, all right?
All right, I got you.
There will be a Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings show on air at the same time in December. 12-year-old Jake, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm pumped.
All right, modern Jake.
Dream
There will
come
be a
true?
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter show at the same time in December. Current day Jake, what are your thoughts on this?
Suicide. Dude, like, they're both terrible. Oh, Rings of Power is the most expensive show ever made. All right, is it good? Well,
Oscar Isaac
no.
confirmed somehow Palpatine return line was a reshoot.
What? Yeah, okay. So Gina Carano's last fight was in August of 2009,
Holy shit.
and she lost.
Supergirl star Millie Alcott
So she
claims Superman Day is now
it
also
was
about Supergirl. Shut up, woman. Stop
her
talking. Your
first
movie's
and
already tanking. Stop talking. Okay, sorry. What is-
it was her first and only title shot, and she lost. Rousey, let me pull up her last fight. I believe it was also in the 2000s.
Well, she was in the WWE.
Well, okay, that's not real. Oh,
Hey.
right. She lost to Holly Holm in 2015 and lost to Amanda Nunes in 2016. So it's only been a decade since she fought.
The
And
last
she
person
lost
she
two
lost to is
fights in a
only,
row.
you know, she only last lost was to the greatest of all time, you know, so it's like, yeah. She's
Like,
basically
yeah, cool.
fine.
But that was a decade.
But if I get in the ring with Mighty Mouse and he taps me out, my last loss was also to the greatest of all time.
Exactly. Like, it
You
was
know, let's-
she got knocked out in the second round, and she got knocked out in the first round. So great. She had what, 2 belts, because there was only 2 belts at the time, and there was like 12 women's MMA fighters at the time. Ronda
Okay,
Rousey
we
should
get it. All
never
right.
be
Point-
in any greatest of all time lists. ever.
Point is, fight gonna start.
No one's gonna watch that fight. And
should we-
still more people will watch that than Mandalorian and Schmogu.
but you know who? There will be more people to watch that than Supergirl. I feel like I think we've reached that. You want to talk? Do you want to? Let's end our stream. Let's talk about when the people came with Daredevil Mask of the End. It reminded me of Halloween Kills when the people were in the hospital chanting "Evil dies tonight." That was about Trump as well. You see, dude, you don't even have to go to the political allegory to be like, "Oh, this sucks." No, it's just bad. Like, regardless of political allegory
It's
or
just
not, it just
bad.
sucks.
It is funny that they accidentally made a January 6th allegory. Like, just
Let's
obviously on accident.
In the
with the
stream,
but
or not? Let's not in the stream. Let's talk like wrapping up the stream here. You want to talk? Let's talk about James Gunn's favorite subject.
James Gunn?
James Gunn confirms that the Authority movie put on hold as DCU plans shift.
What? Yeah, the plan shift is him getting fired.
DC Studios co-head James Gunn has confirmed the Authority is no longer moving forward, at least for now, marking a significant shift in the studio's long-term plans for the DC universe. The project originally announced in January 2023 as part of Gunn and Peter Safran's Gods and Monsters slate has officially been placed on the back burner after struggling to come together creatively. I feel bad for James Gunn. The CEO of DC has really set up James Gunn for failure with this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who's the CEO?
That's like
of DC?
the Markiplier with Iron Lung, all the Markiplier memes. That's like Markiplier.
Yeah, the
Iron
problem
Lung
with
lead
the
actor.
problem with
This
those.
is
The problem with those is those are like the executive producer of Iron Lung slept with the director's wife, whereas in this one it'd be like CEO of DC Studios watched director of next movie sleep with wife. Notably not directed by James Gunn. The DC has so many projects nobody asked for. The DCU is losing projects nobody asked for.
Yeah,
So, hold
it's
on.
not
Let me,
like
Jake, let's do this.
old Marvel where it's like, "Oh, I can't believe they canceled that project. It could have been cool." It's
Let's
the
do that.
authority.
Let's just run this out because it's about as ridiculous as this. So let's say Fellowship of the Ring. No, hold on. So War of the Rohirrim released, and then they dropped Fellowship of the
Oh,
Ring, and then the next movie obviously is gonna be Two Towers. No, we're gonna go drop the Children of Human, and then after that, it's gonna be Two Towers. No, actually, it's gonna be even more niche. It's gonna be appendice
it's gonna be like
like
2 chapters from the Silmarillion.
it's gonna be like one of the appendices, and then after that, obviously, is going to be the Two Tower. Oh no, sorry. Again, after that is going to be a random page from the Silmarillion, and then after that, we're going to get a remake of the Fellowship of the Ring that's not in continuity with this Fellowship, while coming out the same time that the Two Towers is releasing. I know what you're thinking. Why wouldn't you just do Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and then Return of the King? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a great question. Um, I
Because James Gunn is panicking.
remember Peacemaker.
This is like, okay, hold on. Think, dude, Peacemaker season 2 is a thing that came out. Like, remember that. That's a thing that happened. I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking that Superman is the only DCU thing that has actually come out. But it's like going back chronologically, parts of Blue Beetle,
And also,
parts of the Suicide Squad. And if you include that, then parts of Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos,
actually, that was no. So most of
Peacemaker, kind
2016
of
Suicide
season
Squad was
1.
was canonized because remember Rick Flag Jr. talked about being on a date with Enchantress. So most of 2016 Suicide Squad has to be canon. Like,
Yeah. MCU Phase 1 started off with 4 main Avengers. Meanwhile, the DCU only
yeah,
has
but
Superman.
imagine
No, they have
only Iron Man.
Peacemaker. City
Imagine
Server, they have
only
Peacemaker, though.
Imagine only Iron
What
Man
about
2
Dive
came
Here?
out. Imagine Iron Man 2 came out only though. That's like it
Yeah,
felt like
no, that's
even worse.
yeah, that's
Iron
like
Man
that's
2.
like that's like if those movies came out, like the first of each movie came out, and then they went, you know what, that was all garbage. We're done with that, and then they made Iron Man 2 still, and they were like, all right, Iron
And
Man
they're
2
like
is the first thing in continuity.
also X2 is canon and one scene from
Yeah,
X-Men The
also
Last Stand.
X2 and Agents of Shield.
And only episodes 8, 7, and 11 though. And the second half of season
Yeah,
2, episode 16 isn't canon.
yeah, no, that is
I
not
can't
canon at
believe the
all.
CEO.
What?
I cannot believe the CEO of DC Studios has set James Gunn up for failure here.
I
The
can't believe.
co-CEO of DC Studios, whose name rhymes with Blames Gunn, has set up James Gunn for failure. I cannot believe they've done this. This is ridiculous. They said the co-CEO of DC Studios was like, "Hey, we're gonna do Superman, and then we're gonna do Waller, and then the Authority, and then
I
Supergirl."
forgot he was gonna do
The
Waller.
CEO, the co-CEO. This is not
That's
James
like-
Gunn's fault. This
that's
is not James Gunn's fault. This is the co-director of DC Studios' fault. Who is that guy? I'm looking it
name
up right
rhymes with
now.
Blames
Who
Gunn.
is the co-CEO of DC Studios? Who is this guy? He has to be punished. Who is the co-CEO? Key people, James Gunn. Okay, so next topic.
Dude, okay, this is like let's go back phase 1. This is like they release Iron Man 1, and then
they
they
released Thor: The
announce
Dark World
a
first.
Nick then they no. Then they announce a Nick Fury show and Thunderbolts. That's their first 3 projects that they announce. Obviously, none of those are coming out, but that's what they announce. They go, "This is our big, perfect plan for the DCU." And then Superman box office comes in, and they go, "All right, we're not doing any of that shit." But we already made Lanterns, so we have to keep it. And we were pretty much we had already made a lot of Supergirl, so we got to keep that too. And Clayface, we had already kind of made that, so we have to keep these 3 things. Everything else, trash.
No, you missed it. It's actually somebody else already made Clayface, and it wasn't gonna be in
Wrecking
this, but
Crew.
we'll go ahead and chuck it in now.
Yeah, this thing that wasn't going to be a part of our universe is now. Is it the same Clayface as the one in Creature Commandos that died?
It has to be. It literally
Clayface
has
die in
to be.
Creature Commandos?
Yeah, I don't think he died, but he got
Yeah, so
assassinated. But it does have to be.
yeah, it's like this is the same one. Of them, it's like creepy body horror
Also,
thing.
60% of
And then
X-Men Last Stand is canon, but not the opening scene or the third scene. It starts at the second scene. You have to pretend that Magneto isn't actually there because he's not canon.
Only the middle 60% of Last Stand. So like half
But
of the first
half the
act is
characters
out,
aren't
and
canon.
half and the last half of the third act are out. So only the middle, but also Wolverine isn't canon.
Yeah, but Wolverine is canon. It's just not that actor's Wolverine and none of that Wolverine's story. It's really not that confusing, bro.
Yeah. It's really simple. You just
really
have
sound
to
like
listen
some
to
kind of
30 hours
Snyder
of James
bro
Gunn
out here.
talking and lying.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. How
You
about you go?
You understand? It's actually pretty simple.
How about you
James
go
Gunn
suck
tweeted
up on
this,
Snyder?
okay? James Gunn actually tweeted this.
Bro. So I actually shouldn't have to look at Twitter.
I'm trying to find that
Or
image
as James Gunn
of
said,
the
a
original story.
podcast where he talks and asks fans what they think should be canon. I shouldn't have to listen or look at these things to know what's going on in a universe. You should be able to watch the movie and go, all right, that's cool. And then you should be able to watch the next movie and go, oh, cool, it's connected. That's funny. Like you watch Iron Man and then you watch Thor and you go, when Coulson said he had to leave and he had to go to New, that's where he was going. Oh, that's what happened in Thor. Cool. These are connected. Captain America's talking to Howard Stark. That's Iron Man's dad. This is all connected. It wasn't a tweet from Joss Whedon going, all right, guys, for Avengers, this is what's canon and this is what's not canon. You just watched it and you went, oh, cool. Yeah, it's all connected. What are you looking for?
There's
are
a
you still searching about?
There's a
James
Clayface
Gunn?
movie releasing. There's a Clayface movie coming out as the third film in the DCU. Now I have a picture saved that I'm trying to find, and I'm trying to remember where it is. It should be around here somewhere. I just don't know how I'm gonna find it. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, what is happening?
Supergirl comes out like this summer.
Mandalorian and Grogu comes out in like 2 weeks.
There's no way. Oh, I might actually not be. What day does it release?
It's around Star Wars Day.
Around real Star Wars Day.
I mean, I wasn't gonna specify.
It's May 22nd.
It's
oh
Ben
yeah, I'm not
Affleck's
watching
Daredevil
that. Peters.
canon,
I'm gonna. It comes out May 22nd. I'm gonna be busy playing the new Arkham game. I'm not.
Yeah,
like
I might be deep into
bro.
a little James Bond playthrough.
I'm playing Lego Batman before James Bond, if it's enjoyable at least.
If I don't find this, I'm gonna be so pissed. I know I have it saved somewhere. I really should have favored it to hold on to. Because it's an insane picture.
Speaking of Star Wars and also of canceling stuff, remember how many projects Kathleen Kennedy announced that just never happened?
I think they're waiting for the Ryan Johnson trilogy to finish first. Once that's out, I think we're getting the rest.
Caleb, we have Ryan Johnson trilogy, the Ray movie, Rogue Squadron. Remember when that was gonna happen?
Oh, come on, it's supposed to be right around
Look
here.
up. Looking up
Okay, if
Star
I can't
Wars
find it,
canceled
I'll
movies.
find
See
it.
how many we're working with. Kevin Feige was apparently going to have an untitled project.
I remember that.
Remember there was going to be. Hold on, this is definitely not true. That was misinformation.
Oh, I found it. I found it. I just screenshot this. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah,
A
it
lot
took
of
enough
these are
searching, but I did
misinformation.
find what I was looking for. I did find what I was looking for. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Remember, this was the slate. This was the announced slate.
Chapter 1, obviously, because they couldn't call it Phase 1.
Jake, you want to read these out for us?
Creature Commandos,
That released.
Superman Legacy,
Renamed.
which name got
Renamed.
changed. Renamed. The Authority didn't release.
You skipped one.
Waller
Actually. Jumps down here
didn't
first.
release.
Canceled.
Brave and the Bold not happening. Booster Gold canceled. Lanterns coming out.
Although this is actually green.
It's more green.
They went backwards.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow,
Renamed.
renamed but coming out. Is that Swamp Thing?
Paradise Lost, canceled. Swamp Thing,
And
canceled.
Paradise Lost.
No Clayface.
So we have
no Peacemaker season 2.
So we're getting 4 out of 10 things that they announced.
This just leaked. This just leaked, so it's worth talking about actually.
Oh my gosh.
This is huge news, guys. This is massive news.
This is big. Levels were so bad. They're so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's done. You remember Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Project Hail Mary? Screw you, screw Daredevil, dude. We didn't do a Project Hail Mary stream because we were watching freaking Daredevil.
Yeah. We still could.
No, because we gotta talk about Manta Fluco and Gruga.
In Grumbo.
We gotta talk about the adventures of Mr. Speaks and Grogu.
Remember when Mandalorian for like one episode was pretty cool?
Bro, the trailer opened with a bunch of stormtroopers' head on spikes.
Remember when it was like, oh, it's going to be a cool bounty hunter. And, you know, he gradually gets more and more stuff and gets stronger. And, you know, every episode he takes down a different, unique, and cool bounty. Remember when that's what it was going to be?
This is the way. This is the way. We need to go get the milk. I don't have like a radio filter, so I'm trying my best. We have to go get the milk, baby Yoda. He needs the milk. We got the milk. He drank all the milk. Sorry, I almost gave emotion. Oh, he drank all the milk. Why would you do that, baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda, no, don't die in a speeder crash. No, you almost had dialogue or emotion from Baby.
He is the Mandalorian. He did the way.
Okay. Think about this. I'm gonna make 2 different comparisons here. Mandalorian displays 0 emotion. Well, you can't see his face. You only get his voice and body language. Go watch This is a terrible movie. Go watch Amazing Spider-Man 2. You can't see his face. All you get is his voice and his body language. And Andrew Garfield is amazing. He conveys it perfectly. Whereas Mandalorian, you get nothing. Then you have Grogu, who basically has just a human face. Like, he's an alien, but he has an expressive face comparable to a human being. And then Rocky from Project Hail Mary, who is a rock. He's a rock. And you get genuine emotion out of him and body language. Grogu, it just sits there.
Do you think the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to end with Ahsoka taking Grogu into the world between worlds and setting him back in his rightful timeline? It's going to be revealed that Grogu is actually the real Yoda.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? That's not even like a ridiculous theory. That could just happen.
That could just happen.
Well, Dave Filoni introduced permanent glove shido. And Dave Filoni introduced permanent glove shido world teleport. He introduced glove shido printer. It's a 3D printer for glove shido, so you can go to anywhere and any time in between worlds and pull a glove shido out of a portal so that they can be the new glove shido in his show.
What he's gonna do is have Ahsoka teach Yoda knows. So that when, like, for say, I don't know, 50 years, so that then Yoda will be 100 and start teaching Jedi. And then everything Yoda has ever done or taught other people is because of everything that Ahsoka taught him.
Ahsoka is actually really important to the future.
So then Ahsoka becomes the main character of Star Wars.
Ahsoka Season 2, my passion project ever since I created Ahsoka in Clone Wars, is coming out. Sorry, I'm doing a Dave Filoni impression here, guys. It's coming out soon.
Sounds too masculine.
Why is the children's cartoon we watched when we were 10 like the most important thing in Star Wars now?
The most important lore thing for Star Wars.
There was an episode.
Star Wars is just Dave Filoni's fanfic come to life. No, it seriously is. Star Wars has become shippers and fanfic. That's actual Star Wars now. Stuff that, like, 15 years ago, people would get, like, publicly mocked for like, oh, what if this happened? They'd be like, shut up.
Still get publicly
freaking
mocked.
Loser. Get a job and go outside, you freaking idiot loser. Now it's like, wow, that's the best idea ever. We're going to give you millions of dollars to make that. That's like the quality level. Take a 2010 fanficker or shipper and give them a job in Star Wars right now, millionaire. That's all it is now. Look at this character interacting with this character. It's Maul and Darth Vader. It's Maul and Darth Vader, dude. What?
When R2D2 flying was a problem. I remember when horrible dialogue like "I hate sand" and "Have you come here to kill me?"
Biggest problem.
It's not quite.
That was the biggest problem with Star Wars.
Obi-Wan and Anakin's dialogue mostly sucks in Revenge of the Sith. And then they somehow made worse Obi-Wan Anakin dialogue with "Have you come here to kill me?" after he follows him to a planet. He follows him down to a planet and goes, "Have you come here to destroy me, Obi-Wan?" From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. That used to be the worst thing. That used to be the bad part of Star Wars.
They fly now? They fly now isn't even the worst dialogue in Star Wars. They've been flying since like 5,000 years ago.
I think somehow Palpatine Return has to be worse than Agent Nadim and all that because Star Wars as a cinematic franchise is the biggest cinematic franchise of all time, and it culminated with somehow Palpatine Return.
Yeah, that could be worse.
It has to be worse. It has to be worse. I think it objectively has to be worse. We like Daredevil, but it's not the most important show. Like, it's not the biggest show of all time that got off written by somehow Agent Nadim of all time. It only ran off season.
Do you remember the spurt of Mandalorian where it was like, I think it's building towards, or it was building towards like being able to clone people who are force sensitive, and then people were like, "This is gonna lead to Palpatine," and it's all tied together, and then they just like stopped doing that because the show was bad.
Well, it was for Snoke, right? That was all Snoke lore.
Well, it was it was gonna be Snoke lore, but Snoke
Well, no.
is like a
they,
failed Palpatine clone.
They basically set that up, right? That was the Snoke lore, and then they moved on to the
No,
next.
well, Snoke is a failed Palpatine.
I'm aware. I'm just saying they set like they did that part because that was like them patching the Palpatine thing, and then they moved on to the next point.
Yeah, but they didn't like they started that stuff and
No,
then
well,
didn't do
Joe
anything with
Schmo,
it.
what's his face? Didn't he like screw off at the end, like the clone guy?
Oh, they kept doing it off screen.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Like, no.
And then Giancarlo Esposito played Giancarlo Esposito. He was like, "I'm the bad guy, Giancarlo
Yeah.
Esposito."
Yeah.
and then
Remember me
Bo-Katan-
from
and
Breaking
then
Bad? I'm
Bo-Katan-
literally the
then
same guy.
Bo-Katan became the Mandalorian, and it was so awful that Katie Sackhoff quit acting. It's so bad. She was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna quit now." Respect, by the way. Respect. She was like, "This
Mad
sucks.
respect.
This sucks so much.
Like,
I
this
quit."
is so bad. I can't act anymore.
Oh. Bo-Katan kind of sucked in the Clone Wars too.
Yeah.
She
was
like,
terrible.
"I
She was less
she was like,
interesting than her sister.
She was like, "Whoa, I was trying to be a
annoying.
terrorist, but a Sith terrorist? That's where I draw the line."
Yeah, she was like, "No, terrorism is awesome, but I don't like the way you
But I'm
do
not painting my
terrorism.
armor red.
That's where I draw the line." But Maul killed her sister. Bro.
You remember the Mandalore National Guard abandoning children to the Pike Syndicate? It just ran away.
Hey, everybody, I rule your planet now. Shit, all right. That was Clone Wars Season 5. I rule your planet now for like 10 years. All right, cool.
Palpatine,
It's not
you
even
will no
fear, though.
longer
It's
rule
just like,
Mandalore. 1 week later, I rule Mandalore. Kenobi. Oh no, I got beat up by a teenager.
oh, I got beat up by
And
this
there was, like-
teenage girl who hasn't used a lightsaber in like
He's
10
so
years.
deep. He's such an
Or
amazing
5 years.
character. He's so incredible.
Yeah.
He's got so many complex
Remember when Darth
flaws.
Maul ignited his second lightsaber and was like, "Whoa, this guy's badass," and then he died, and then that was it? That was Maul's peak. When he had like 2 lines, it was like, "Yes, master," and then he gasped, and that was the extent of Maul. That was as
Soon
good
we
as it
will
got.
reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Does
Yeah.
he know?
That was it. Does he
Soon
know?
we will reveal ourselves. Soon.
And then, in the meantime, every new show they make, it's like, oh, this is another thing that Maul has just been doing the whole time. And it's like between in Rebels when he
Hey, you remember
dies
when Daredevil
and
Born
Rogue
Again?
One and Clone Wars and Maul's Shadow Lord. He's fought Vader and he's been around Vader also again in
remember-
Rebels.
Do you remember
And-
when? Do you remember when Daredevil Born Again season 2 copied
Not Rogue
dialogue
One,
from Attack of
Rogue
the
One.
Clones? And Kingpin say, "I don't
don't-
like sand.
I don't
Vanessa,
like sand.
I don't
Vanessa."
like sand on Tahiti,
Dude.
Vanessa.
If you're stealing dialogue from
I don't like sand, Vanessa. When I was a boy, I was in the sand.
When I was
and
a
didn't
boy,
like it.
I was in the sand pit.
So
and my
spin off to
father
find out how
beat me
Maul ate a
severely.
sandwich. That would probably be more
Literally,
interesting.
it's like,
how does he take a shit
well,
without a
what
without a real
happened-
body?
They need to make a new show about how
Maul
Maul
Sandwich
went
Lord.
from
That's an idea right there.
Well, what happened between the time he left Kanan and Ezra at the weird Sith planet and an hour later when he fought Kenobi and died? What happened in that time period? They could have a
Mall
whole
sandwich lore.
10 episode miniseries about that.
Mall sandwich.
What did
lore.
Maul eat for breakfast?
I think
Did Maul have to fill up his ship with gas on the way to go find Kenobi?
I
That's what we
think
need to
we
know.
should get 5 more Maul shows, The Acolyte season 2, 3 more seasons of Ahsoka, and Mandalorian and Grogu 2. Right now. And then
Now,
half
I
of them,
need
then
them
when
now.
we reboot Star Wars, half of those will be canon and only scenes from Maul Shadow Lord. Bring back the Bad Batch. We all liked the Bad
Hey.
Batch.
When they reboot Bad Batch season 3, the second half will be canon, and then 1/3 of the
There's 3
cutscenes from Knights
seasons
of
of
the
the
Old
Bad
Republic will
Batch?
be canon. Yeah.
What the hell?
And then every other cutscene from Knights of the Old Republic is canon. Only every other cutscene, though.
But only, and it's not every other cutscene, it's every other clip from the trailer for the remake that isn't happening.
Yes. But it's
And-
the original
And
version
only the
of all
hard
of those
mode
scenes.
playthrough based off this of Star Wars Theories playthrough of Jedi
Yeah, so
Survivor.
only the clips that Star Wars Theory shows
in
of
Jedi,
Jedi
Survivor is the canon path.
and then the
animatic
last
of
4
Mahler-
hours of
the
Mahler's
animatic of
the last
Mahler
4 hours of
Java
Mahler's
saving the day.
Outlast video. Can we play the Mahler clip? I know we've done it before.
Yeah, I can find it. Hold on, you gotta talk. That's gonna take me a minute.
Dude, that's the funniest clip ever. K-Vess, it's me, Jabba the Hutt, your dear friend here to save you from the Empire.
Have you?
Uh,
Okay, hold on. Before I pull this up, since you mentioned Mahler, did you keep up at all with that Otterly Noah stuff?
I did, yes. I watched all of it.
Oh my, that is some of the
What
what an
scumbag. It's so
idiotic
funny.
human, an evil idiotic
Yeah.
person. What an evil. He copy struck someone with less subscribers than me. Like, that's not even an insult. That's just a
Yeah.
show of like that's how easy it can happen. Like this idiotic evil piece of shit was like, dude, I don't know. I laughed so.
And he's stealing from people. He's
When
stealing from
they-
people who are like a little further on than us, than you are in
when
subscribers.
they
And then
clip-
he's like, "Well, sorry, I stole your stuff and got, bro."
There were two moments. The first one was when on the guy's stream when he pulled up the farting clip. I laughed so hard. And then the other one was when they showed the diss track that he got taken down. That was so funny.
It's
it was
so funny
it
because
was
when he went on the stream, that one stream, and they were basically just like, so you downloaded this guy's video, slightly changed his script, and then stole his graphics and cropped out his watermarks. Did you not think you were stealing? Did you not think what you were doing was wrong? He was like, I don't know, man. I guess I'll take the L on that one. The whole time, it was just him like downplaying everything. It was just, yeah, I guess that's a valid point. The whole thing is just him like downplaying the scummy, ratty shit he did and being like, I guess if you want to say
It's
it that
funny
way.
because he was like
Like they're being
cartoonishly-
ridiculous.
He was cartoonishly evil, but also a complete idiot. Like one of the dumbest people I've like I can't believe is real. It's
Ever
so
listened
funny.
to.
It was so entertaining. like it was just funny as hell. Like what an idiot.
It's
What an idiot.
so fun.
He was stupid. It all started because they didn't like Predator Badlands.
Which is bad. It's in
I
the
haven't seen
name.
it, so I won't say it's bad, but It didn't do very well. I know that. Okay. All big shout out to Mauler. I don't want to, since we're talking about stealing content, I don't want this to come off as stealing.
Yeah, no, this is a recommendation to watch Mahler's
Yes,
Outlaws.
we've already
video
pulled
because
this up
it's
before.
The funniest. Dude, I don't know if I've ever laughed harder in my life than watching.
Where are the deflectors? Deflectors? Are you serious?
Asara, keep trying.
Ugh. Not a space mission. No. Anything
A
but.
distress beacon.
Calling in some favors.
Oh God.
I hope.
It's gonna be the rebels.
Does he know?
No.
I will say the artist, I can't remember the artist's name. I'm very sorry. Whoever it is, big shout out to them. They really captured
It's
Kay's
so
endless
funny.
expressions here. All of
Yes,
them.
it's more expressive in this animatic that she is in the actual
Press some more buttons, quick.
the actual thing.
What's going on?
Danny, get get out.
Oh, the rebels! Guys, the rebels are here.
Not bad.
But not enough.
What now?
Press more
Someone's answered
buttons.
the distress beacon.
This game sucks.
The rebels.
This game sucks so
This
much.
game is
bad.
terrible. It's such a bad game. Such a bad game.
Missed me. Right. If you say so.
Jabba and his little fucking fat guy ship running around. I am here, Kay.
I am here, K-Bass. Me,
It's me, your friend Jabba. Your good pal Jabba the Hutt.
It's here to help the Rebel Alliance.
I could never lose you.
One man.
You. What? You'll never get it. The space battle. Fucking Jabba. I'm picturing
Oh,
like
hold on, I'll play
Jabba's
this
palace,
first.
but a space. He's got like a Rancor in an X-wing. Like, I'm gonna save you, Kenny.
Okay, I'm not gonna play the full animation.
Yeah, no, it's go watch Baller 17.
Okay, well, I
Outlaws
mean-
video. It's really good.
You don't gotta watch the whole thing, but
Oh.
at least start at like around 57:30 and watch it. I get if you don't want to
Yeah,
watch 17 hours. It took me about
it's
3
so-
months to get through it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
so funny. Oh my goodness.
That is a great animation, but yeah,
It's really fun. It's so funny.
it might be Plagued Creations. I don't know if that's who did it, but he seems to make a lot of animations. So if it was him, big ups to that guy. But
Yeah.
oh,
And credit to Baller for pulling 17 hours out of that lifeless shit.
in
game.
fairness, he left a lot out. That game's so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. In his defense,
Here's the
he
problem.
left a lot of garbage.
When I get to a video game, like I usually accept the story probably is gonna suck ass once it happens, and I kind of just forget it, and I'm like just focused on whether I enjoy the game or not. So if the Bond game is like fun to play, I'm not gonna think about how awful the story is. If it is bad, I really hope it's good. But if it is bad,
Yeah.
like it'll just be like a 40-hour Mauler video. Like 007 is awful, and I'm like, I like.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Well,
looking
I mean, for game, he picked apart how terrible the gameplay. If the gameplay was good in Bond, he'd be like, gameplay was good. Here's why. But The Outlaws gameplay was like painfully bad,
Gosh,
and it was like ridiculously easy in like not a good way.
yeah, it was bad.
I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first one, not the new one that came out last year. I've been playing that, and it's a pretty cool story so far. I like it. It's pretty tedious, I'll say, but it's tedious in a way that I actually enjoy. Um and the combat and the gameplay is actually kind of difficult. Um which is pretty cool. I like a game that you actually have to like get better at. You can't just level up your character and then destroy everybody super easy. Takes a little bit of effort to actually get good at. So I would recommend Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I don't know about 2. I haven't played it, but
I'm not gonna lie, I downloaded that game, booted it up, realized it wasn't
That's what
third
I've been up
person,
to.
closed it, and bought The Witcher 3. That was
That's
not a
fair.
game. That
That's
was not
fair.
a game I felt like playing in first person. I don't know. First person, I kind of feel like when I play, I'm
Yeah.
like, I really only want this for shooters. Like, I know it's something you can't do against
Yeah,
first
I
person.
I
games, but
do
I don't
a lot
want
of time.
I don't want like hand to hand combat really in first person. It feels like it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
Even if it doesn't. Even if it
it
doesn't.
is
I'm just
that,
saying,
and
to me, that's just not.
that's part of what does make it difficult. But it's with the mechanics they chose, it it makes sense. But I do agree. I do tend to prefer a third person for like combat games and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's a decently immersive game.
If you
Pretty
have
fun.
never listened to an EFAP before, they're long. I don't blame you. If you have like the next
they're
few weeks to no, hold on. If you have the next few weeks, so like you just have a lot of hours where you can listen to stuff, or you got a long drive, do yourself a favor and listen to the Otterly Noah saga. It's like one of those moments that I feel like should like even people who are like, oh, I don't like the EFAP guys because they're this, that. I think it should just be a thing where you can just laugh at a complete imbecile who did an evil thing and is finally getting some payback, and watch other idiots be stupid
Yeah.
about it too. Like, it was so funny.
Yeah,
It was so funny. It was genuinely
it's
so
hilarious.
I couldn't believe it.
I got a lot
but
of
I
joy out of
lost it
listening to
when they
that.
revealed that he plagiarized both his apologies. He gives in straight. He was apologizing for plagiarizing, and he said, "What should I say?" Someone sent him an apology. He just copy and pasted it. And then they went after a guy, or then they talked about the guy whose Blade Runner review was, "Here's the dialogue in Blade Runner."
Yeah, here's why this dialogue is good, and he reads the dialogue.
Daredevil Born Again is good because Kingpin said, because Daredevil said, "We are the city without fear," and this is something other YouTube reviewers don't tell you. Oh, all right.
Gosh, in-depth analysis, and it's just quoting word for word.
Yeah. What other reviewers don't tell you about this scene is that Daredevil beat Kingpin. He beat him. He didn't get to destroy who Daredevil was.
That's what this scene is really
That's what
about.
this scene is really about. And just a basic plot summary won't reveal that to you.
A basic plot summary with someone like Critical Drinker would not go that in depth and would probably leave out a lot of Matt's character in his 7-minute.
Oh yeah, that was one of the things Otterly Noah plagiarized, was like, I can't believe Critical Drinker mutes clips in his reviews.
It's like, that's how you make a
I was
review.
like, I do that.
It's like,
but I've also been
you
called
do
a
that.
grifter, so
Well,
guess.
Otterly Noah does. If you review a movie, you do that, unless you're an idiot, and then you have the whole movie playing over your video in the background. That's how you make a YouTube movie review. You play clips and then you talk about the movie, and then you go, look, this is visual from the movie. I'm talking about this character, and then I show the character. Look. Talking about this plot point, I'm gonna show something that has to do with that plot point. Oh.
Hey, look, it's Eric Voss.
Oh no.
Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 8, the season finale, The Southern Cross. From Matt Murdock's Iron Man-inspired courtroom reveal to Kingpin going on it.
Iron Man inspired courtroom reveal. What else is he? What did he have to say? Let's see. What did I see? Hulk. What moment do you want me to click through the episode to see what he says about it?
Angela in the hallway. I need that.
But I think having them just slowly walk to that and not really fight anyone in this finale would have just been anticlimactic. So I honestly think what they did is they shot and inserted this additional scene where Matt and Jessica and Angela fight those goons in the hallway, and then edited it to parallel Fisk's hallway killing spree, and then linked that with Matt and Jessica and Angela joining.
They fought people in a hallway. This is insane parallelism.
The mob
That's an Easter egg and or detail that you may
That's
have
actually
missed,
a good
by the
point.
way.
I think he's right. I think they added that in.
Yeah.
Wait, let's see what he said about Heather.
Is Cole North the good cop?
Wait, let's hear what he says about Cole North. Let's hear what he says.
Of these women, including Governor McCaffrey, just kind of had to stand there as Matt awkwardly changed up his clothes into his armor. Angela Del Toro and Soledad Ayala confront Powell and Cole North about the killing of Hector Ayala, whom Powell said had pushed his partner off the platform, but Cole is now convinced by the widow and niece enough to knock out.
What? I guess that is technically what happens.
Powell to stop him from shooting Cherry in the face. Personally, I would have preferred a more cathartic punishment for Powell. Maybe a knockout by Angela Del Toro or Cherry, maybe carried away.
The old man.
I would have preferred Cherry knocks out.
Centaurs like Umbridge was.
The
but
old man
alive? Are
or
you
the
kidding me?
4
This
foot
is Cole
tall
North, the good
12-year-old
cop
girl.
Redemption arc as he allows the
Gives him
protesters
the
into the
redemption
courthouse.
arc.
This
And protesters. Mostly peaceful assassination attempt on Kingpin.
moral upward turn is paired with Heather Glenn doing a moral inverse, punching Hochberg in the throat for suggesting that they cut and run from Fisk and using his expensive suit jacket for
Eric Voss didn't even think that was like a standing up to the creep moment, which is kind of
for a wounded Buck. Now, I think something might have been removed or worked from this part of the episode because the episode never clarifies what exactly happens to Buck Cashman or how he and Heather escape from this building. Like we see Heather.
Yeah, because no one.
Yeah,
gets
that's
the shit.
something I forgot
No-
to say.
No one.
How is Heather not in prison? It shows all the AVTF guy, like what Hochberg is implying is that if they stay with him, they're going to prison too.
What did he say? I wonder what he said about the bullseye.
And she's just free. And
Because
where's
it lets
Buck?
Matt
Is
kind
he
of
gonna
off-
be
for
Mr.
sending
Female
Bullseye
Muse?
on that mission lived, which is a key detail because it lets Matt kind of off the hook morally for sending Bullseye on that mission. Fisk says to Jessica,
Yeah, lets him off for not getting that guy killed. What about the task force guys he murdered, though? Matt's still on the hook for those guys.
Watch yourself, Kingpin.
so I guess Fisk knows who Jessica Jones is.
Dude, he can't even. He's in the same boat as us. He's like, I guess.
That's interesting. I think this
I
is great.
guess he knows who
I
it
think this will come back in season 3. Brilliant.
Heroes for Hire season. Fisk and his allies facing Matt and his allies meet in the lobby of the
Matt
courthouse.
is allies.
Powell definitely uses
Dude,
an
do you
outside
remember
voice
when
as
New
he
York
radios-
rock stars like actually made
This
breakdowns?
is funny. He's
and
not wrong. He
Now
uses
they
the
just
outside
say what.
He's literally
Now
just
they
nicely
just say
calling
what
this
happened
dog
in the
shit.
episode.
He's literally just nicely saying
They
this is
just like
dog shit.
positively tell you what happened in the episode, and they're like, "Pretty cool, huh?"
Okay,
Please
this
invite us
feels.
back to the red
I'm
carpet
gonna
and
be
your
curious. I
premieres."
might skip towards the end here and see if he reviews it or something. But like, because he's doing the thing that a lot of those reviews do, where it's like, this is kind of stupid and this doesn't make any sense and this sucks. 7 out of 10. He's like, Powell uses his outside voice.
to his sharpshooter,
Product's coming out. Prepare the shot. Repeat. Prepare to take the shot.
but instead of whatever idiot he put in that cosplay, he hears Dex's voice.
Sorry, pal. Wrong bullseye.
But what was interesting to me here was the audio did not sound like Dex was saying it to Powell over the radio. He
Missable
sounded much
11. I agree here. Hold on.
closer, and I think it was Matt hearing Dex say that using his advanced hearing.
Sorry, pal. Wrong bullseye.
Because notice how Matt
Yeah, but then everyone reacts though, like he did hear it.
Yeah.
waves his hand to Buck Cashman not to engage because only Matt would be that familiar with Dex's voice, and Matt truly does not want anyone to die
Notice
here.
how he
That
cut
said, I
out
love how Matt was
Officer
willing
Powell
What?
visibly moving.
What? Okay.
to jump in front of Bullseye's bullet for Fisk in season 1, but now given the chance to do the same for Buck Cashman, he's like, I don't know this killer of Afghan teenagers that well. So Buck
Bro.
Buck served in the
Right.
SAS. That's more morally wrong than Kingpin.
takes the shot in the gut. Fisk and the goons retreat into the courtroom, preparing for a siege. Real life New York reporter Annika Bergman for you.
Okay, he didn't even say anything about Powell being a hero.
Again this season, Caffrey retreat into the judge's quarters. Now, what's interesting here is Chief Justice Waters' office seemed directly adjacent to the courtroom that Fisk and his allies are currently barricaded in.
it's
So I'm just a little
obviously-
surprised that neither side peeked in through the place. He wasn't eager to have a villainous tyrant being overthrown and exiled on. We're left with a shot of Matt affiliation and all window of a church confessional booth slides shut, and I absolutely love how it resembles the sliding window of a church confessional booth, reminding us of the first time we saw adult Matt when Father Lantom took his confession in
Yeah, that's a reach.
the very first episode of the series, all the way to the most emotionally
they meant
trapped
to do.
state, where Matt Murdock, as he's right after the episode came out, and I hope you appreciated that. Overall, I really enjoyed this finale, and the high
Didn't sound like it. Every other thing he said was, I'm not really sure about this part, though.
I don't know how this makes sense, but anyway, and then I really liked it.
highs of season 2 were certainly higher than those of season 1, and I really look forward to the way season 3 could give us some Defenders redemption and connect all the dots.
Defender's redemption. I bet. Wonder if he said. I'd have to scroll. I
very
wonder if he
positively
referred to Defenders
renowned.
as Peak Fire Cinema when it's going out.
Defenders.
They're doing Euphoria breakdowns.
What happened to Shame?
I'm not kidding. Look at that. This is what? What? Oh, what? Euphoria breakdown.
Yeah, Euphoria season 3 episode 4 explained. It's not exactly prestige television. I don't think you need to explain it to people, bro.
They're doing breakdowns. What is this?
This is what you might
Why
have.
are they doing
These are all the
Euphoria
Easter eggs
breakdowns?
you might have missed in Euphoria.
Why are they doing Euphoria break? What the hell? This is absurd.
Why does season 3 feel different?
It's canon. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay. Let's end the stream. I remember when I used to watch every new Rockstars video put out.
Dude, they used to make breakdowns.
Well, it wasn't even. I don't know that their content has changed that much. It's just everything sucks.
The quality of the content they're covering has changed.
Yeah.
They're making the same content, but what they're talking about isn't doing what they're saying it's doing anymore.
Euphoria breakdowns. What the hell? All right. Thank you all for watching. If you survived Daredevil Born Again with us, you can give yourself a pat on the back. You
We should
did
have
it.
t-shirts made.
We do
I survived
have,
Daredevil Born
We do
Again
have
season
Punisher
2.
One Last Kill coming out next week. Maybe that'll be good. Probably not.
Maybe it'll be fun. Probably not good. Maybe it'll be fun.
You know what's kind of crazy? The only way you can make it like good is like Punisher has to murder like a few petty thieves. Because then
Nobody's
you go,
a good guy.
yeah, but then because then you go, whoa, that was pretty. That's why would they have Punisher? Yeah, that's evil. And it's like, yeah, you see, that's the whole
That's the
thing.
point.
That's
He's
why
going too far.
Yes, that's the thing. But now it's
The
just
whole
like,
point
no,
is
he
Frank
just
going
murders
too
Super
far.
Hitler and everyone, and it's like, hold on, why does Matt want to save Super Hitler?
It's like-
Anyway, yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
next week. We'll see what's going on with Punisher One Last
Punisher
Kill.
versus
John
Dr.
Bernthal, he
Doom.
wrote part of it. Maybe save us, John Bernthal. Although if Dario Scartapana had any fingers on it based off of this episode, not exactly gonna hold my breath for that one. It should be only about an hour, and thankfully that'll be it. I really hope it'd be quite cool if it was good, but extreme doubt. I'll just say. I really hope the
Press X
screen
to
goes
doubt.
blue at least once. And yeah, Daredevil
Well,
Born
it would
Again.
go black. It's
Daredevil Born Again season 2
Punisher.
is done, and we have one more season of Daredevil. Unfortunately, will we do this for that? I don't know. I don't think
Maybe.
I highly doubt I don't even know if I'll make another season 2 Daredevil video. I'm not gonna lie. I have like no interest in doing that. Like, what more do I need to say? You know, I don't feel like I
been
need
said.
this. Yeah, you should make a video on it, but
Yeah.
anyway, thank you for watching. Links down below, listening platforms, all that, and the other thing. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. You can check Jake out. You can check me out. Blah, 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 blah. See you next time. Goodbye.